What's up, Fish?
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just finished up a movie about 15 minutes ago. I texted you. I said I'll be backstage about 7:20 because I was finishing up a movie, and it was pretty good. Until the ending, it was extremely depressing. So I liked it a lot more after the ending depressing and sad. It came out of nowhere, and because it was very depressing, and I liked it a lot more because of that. Which everybody that knows me by now knows I need people to die or depressing endings or something like that. I want to feel the emotion.
Yes. We know. And hopefully,
There's been
like when I recommend this
I
next
watched on some
movie,
other. There's been a couple that I've been watching and stuff like that, and I'm like, not enough people die. Nope. I'm like, no, it's not enough. I need people to die. It doesn't work for me. So yeah, but I tried to recommend out of this entire list. It's borderline comedy, and then anybody that knows me by now knows that I'm not recommending many comedies to people. So that's just the way it goes. But yeah, there's slightly sort of one comedy on here.
yeah, no. I know. That's what I liked about this list is
It's a hodgepodge of a lot of stuff.
It was, and that's how I am. And thank you very much because those are my movie tastes. They're all over the place because I like a little bit of everything, and this list was a little bit of everything, which I really enjoyed because it took me all the emotions, took me everywhere. So I appreciate that. So yeah.
You could go from a drama to a different drama to a different drama. You know, there's a
I mean, the variations in that certain genre of
I've even got I got a 70s, I got a 90s on there. I've got some other stuff, so I tried to mix it up. I'm very curious to see what you thought of the one from the 70s in particular, but we'll see when we get there because I just recently rewatched it. So, anyways, let's go ahead and catch up with the chat.
All right.
And then we'll get started. So we've got Jane Doe Letty in here, very first one in here. Nikki, nearly go time. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all having a great one. And I'm going to try and get to a watch list stream with her as well. And she actually recommended, I'm not going to lie, some stuff that I really actually am interested in watching. I feel like with Nikki, she's been watching these streams, and so she's getting an idea of what to recommend and what not to recommend. And so I think she did a pretty good job. Now, there's a couple that I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. But for the most part, there's like 7 out of 10 that I'm like, this looks like my kind of movie. So I think she's paying attention.
Nice. Yeah. No. I've been paying attention as well, my friends. Because I've got like 20 movies on this next recommended. You said I could if I wanted to. Some people chose not to, but I chose to re-engage. And
I think Tony's the one after Marrowbone. He was like, so when I asked him, I said, "Do you want to give me another list?" He said, "No." He's like, "No, he didn't like Marrowbone. I'm not giving you another list. He doesn't want to deal with that." But we'll see how number 8 pops out tonight, because after Disconnect and Men of Honor being number 8s on Tony's list in particular right there, we'll see what number 8 is on your list tonight. There's about one movie, just one tonight, that if it's like number 10 or 9 or 8 will break my heart. But only one that would really bother me or like make me mad, I guess, bother me. But yeah, we got Joe in the chat saying, hey, everyone. Mizzy's in the chat. What's up, Mizzy? Hey, Bob and Fish in chat. We got Tony saying hi to everyone. Caveman.
Hey, guys.
What's Johnny watching says, what's up, cool kids? Even though I'm still fighting COVID and dealing with a serious personal crisis, there's no way I'd miss Fish's recommendations.
Oh. And these Hope you feel better. Get well soon. We love you, cool Johnny.
Yeah, and these are the ones I recommended to Fish, and hopefully the personal crisis fixes itself and it's not too extreme. Hopefully things get better. Holland Oat says, hey, cool kid Johnny. We got Caveman saying prayers Johnny. Mizzy, Movie Warehouse. Just everyone feel better. Hope you're at the tail end of COVID, Johnny. We got Adamant. She says, hey, Nicholas. Holland Oats is here saying hi, Doctor. What's with this doctor crap? I still don't understand it. Like the new setup, Bob. Like you're in the other room. I am in the other room. I'm in my movie room. I feel like I don't spend enough time in here. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, like, all jokes aside, sometimes it's really nice to just like in your room because I don't ever come in here really outside of put movies away or grab a movie. And sometimes it really is just nice to kind of sit in there and take it in and just enjoy your
Oh,
collection
yeah,
and
no, absolutely. That's
just
well, I mean, it would be the same thing as like a book lover, a book reader going into a library and just sitting there and just just enjoying everything, the smells, the Arrow smells, the Arrow movie smell.
Speaking of which, you see my OC box set behind me. You've seen the OC, right? You watched it?
The
Did you?
the TV show.
Yeah, because I
I
used
never
the fan.
watched it. I never watched it.
I used that song. Did you recognize the song though on Instagram? I
Yeah,
thought.
no, absolutely. I mean, you and I have talked about this a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah, that song, I know I do love that song. Just never watched the show. I do know, like, the character actors in it, but yeah, I never watched it.
We got Mrs. Caveman in the chat, and and Corey's also in the chat. If I skipped his chat, one of the other songs I used was for a score that will be for a movie tonight. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not catch that one.
Oh wow, okay,
Oh
all right.
damn. Oh shit. I don't. For some reason,
You've been giving subtle hints to people now.
music.
TV
For
shows.
some reason, I I hear the music, but I'm not listening to it. I'm more paying attention to what's on the screen. And then sometimes when I go back to rewatch stuff, the music kind of comes in a little more to me. So
I don't know what Howland Oates is, which movie he's talking about that I wouldn't like. We've got that horror dude in the chat. Wanted to say hey and also say I do catch all the replays. Wish I could be here live, but I'm at work. I'll be interested in watching this replay later. Well, I appreciate it. It means a lot that you watch the replays, honestly. So I really appreciate that. Right, Doc? Okay, maybe it's a movie he's talking about. We love the OC. We watched all the episodes as they aired. Look at that. Tony was an OC guy. Nice. So he understood the reference probably. Dang, Bob skipped right over my comments. I did go back to it. Yeah, I get caught up in the chat. They were talking to him. Hey, good evening, movie people. We got Smirk here. Oh, never mind. Greetings, gentlemen and flick friends. Smirk, rest in peace, Donald Sutherland. What are you guys' favorite character that he played? Mine would have to be the Great Train Robbery. Hey, Smirk, hey, Steve. You were about to watch a movie. Don't mention it because it's going to go on your next list. And I couldn't believe when you said you hadn't seen it. But my next list for you is going to be the best list I put together because you've missed out on some good movies.
Oh no, there's so many movies I haven't seen still. So
the OC,
I'm right. I'm right for throwing movies at. So
I love the OC. I was catching it at the tail end. Somebody had recommended it to me, and so I caught up to it. I know Mizzy's a fan of the OC as well. So I also watched One Tree Hill, but I never finished One Tree Hill. I couldn't keep up with it. I did once two of the characters left in like season 5 or 6. I kind of just fell off a cliff with it. So I'd like to finish that one because I did love the first 5 seasons of One Tree Hill.
See, I've got like 20 years on you guys, so mine was more 90210 and Melrose.
I watched the remake of 90210. I watched the remake of Melrose Place as well, not the originals. I don't watch too many shows anymore, though. I just I don't know, and I don't have any streaming services. I could watch them online, but I just I don't know. I guess it's a big commitment. So
no, it is absolutely it is. I usually like to do it now when the show's completely over, and then I can just watch the whole thing and not have to worry about, oh my gosh, I'm waiting for the next season, or because I did that with Game of Thrones, and it was
right. I haven't even watched Stranger Things. Never watched that. Still.
That one's fun. I really enjoyed that one. That one's one of my favorites. Of course, being a kid of the 80s, it's very nostalgic. The music, the clothes, the language, the slang. Yeah. I think you might like it too. But it does, does have that sci-fi aspect to it that I know you're not a huge fan of, but
yeah, it's hit or miss. Movie Warehouse says he just finished Justify. I would love that show, he says.
Okay. Timothy Oliphant.
I might have to get on one of these streams one of these days. That horror dude says, absolutely. Send me a watch list. I don't have anything planned at the moment, but Joe says me and Maria are watching Once Upon a Time now, and we love it. I think
I like the first season of that. I haven't gone past that, but
yeah, not too big into shows, but I don't know.
I was going to say that that reference to Doctor that we always throw out at Adam.
Yeah, what's with that?
It's a Spies Like Us with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. There's a scene.
Well, where does it come from? Why are they calling him Doctor?
Well, there's a scene in there. I don't know if you'll ever watch it. Because it's an 80s comedy, but it's kind of one of the stupid ones. But I mean, it's Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, so
yeah, it's comedy. I probably won't get around to it. I'm done watching comedies forever now. So go on.
Okay. But there's a scene where they're pretending to be doctors, and there's a room full of doctors.
Okay.
And when they introduce doctor.
Well, Adam's never gonna hear me call him doctor ever. Gonna hear me.
So I mean, that's I mean, that's just a little scene in that where it's just funny. They just keep going around the room saying doctor. You've seen Jojo Rabbit. You've seen Jojo Rabbit.
I have, yes.
When they're standing there and they're saying Kyle, just going around the room, jumping around the room. Kyle. Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, you're not gonna hear me calling him Adam. I like to call people or call him doctor. I like to call people by their name. I'm old school like that. So, anyways, okay, all right. Moving on. Love Spies Like Us. We saw it in theaters. Okay. Do you want to start with number 10? I'm gonna go ahead once you name the title. I will go ahead and put up a little picture of it. I've got all 10 of them pulled up here. And we'll just kind of go from there. I'll let you kind of talk about it. Then we'll have a little conversation. And as always, I'll catch up on the chat afterwards. But I'm not going to pay attention to the chat until we're done talking. I found that works best. So go ahead, chat, pop off all you want. We'll catch up with it after our conversation. And if there is spoilers, either you or I, let me know, and I'll make sure to put them up on the screen. It seems to work that well, or it seems to work that way, and people avoid spoilers, hopefully, that way. So if it, hopefully that continues to work. So before we catch up, Doctor, shut up. Hey there, Mizzy. Hey, Adrian, what up? Oh my God, Fish, are you trying to get me to switch sides? I absolutely love Spies Like Us. Was where Dan Aykroyd met his wife. Nice.
Yep.
Is that who's in that? Who's his wife? I don't pay attention to that stuff.
His wife, Donna Dixon. She was in for Spies Like Us. She was in a show with Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari called Bosom Buddies. Yeah, she was in the 80s.
Who?
She was gorgeous.
Not Daryl Dixon. So.
Gorgeous.
No, not Daryl Dixon. Donna Dixon. All right, I'll take your word for it. What is your number 10?
Okay, number 10. The Heartbreak Kid.
Okay, we're gonna start with this one right here. The Heartbreak Kid. All right. I just rewatched this one. This is the one from the 1970s.
Yeah.
I think like 1970. Charles Grodin. Go ahead.
1972. Charles Grodin, Sybil Shepherd. I was excited to watch this one when I saw the cast. I was like, oh yes, all right, let's go, because I love both of those actors so much. And then I saw that it was the Neil Simon screenplay. So I was like even more excited because I do enjoy Neil Simon. This one, do you want me to give you like the stars now or later? Or?
If you came with stars, I know some people don't. I know you don't have Letterboxd. You talked about getting it. If you have, whenever you want.
I kind of gave them. I put them 10 through 1, but I did kind of, because a couple of them
Tim did the same thing. At the end of the day, if you gave something 5 out of 10. It would essentially be a 2.5. We know
right,
that. So,
right.
Yeah, you could break.
This one I gave it 2 to.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 5.
Oh, 2 out of 5. I was like, 2 out of 10. Okay.
No, I did out of 5 on this. So
okay, 2 out of 5. Okay.
2 out of 5.
The director was heavily influenced by The Graduate when she made this.
Okay, yeah. I can kind of see that in some aspects.
Big inspiration.
But it being Neil Simon,
there's a remake, right?
Yeah. I know you enjoyed that one too with Ben Stiller. I don't know who
a lot of people hate it. I think people are very I think today people are very sensitive and easily offended. So I think that people get bothered by the Heartbreak Kid. I like both. I like this one. I just rewatched it, and this one still holds up. And I laughed my ass off in the remake. I think it's very funny.
The remake? Okay, so all
Very
right.
offensive, and he's an idiot, just like he is in the original. But I still enjoy it.
Yeah, okay, so okay, my favorite character wasn't even like one of these two, like Sybil Shepherd or Charles Grodin.
The dad
Was my favorite character in this. He was hilarious. Just the faces and everything, his demeanor and everything. It was wonderful. I loved it because I think I would be the same way. I'm like, who is this? Why is he sitting right here?
Yeah.
You know,
he's like, I want you to know I'm interested in your daughter. I am a newlywed. I'm here on my honeymoon, but I have intentions of marrying your daughter. And I love about that scene is that it's a monologue, so it's one shot,
right.
And then it's a medium shot. You got all four characters, and you just see the mom, you see Sybil Shepherd, you see him, and you see the dad.
Right. No, okay, so I mean, is the remake kind of spot on with this one too, or does it kind of vary?
So
I mean,
yes,
I'm sure I'll watch it, but I mean, it's like because I have a.
There's similarities until you get to the end, sort of. I mean, actually, it is pretty similar, but there's some differences as far as I don't want to necessarily spoil. This isn't a big.
Well, yeah, no, yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
But he does not come out and tell her that he's married or a newlywed in the remake. He does not. He tries to keep that a secret until he could figure it out what to do. So, and a lot of people really don't like that the remake demonizes her or makes her look. She's got like a bunch of weird sex, like almost 50 Shades of Grey type of shit going on. And people don't like that it almost because in the original, as you watched it. What is her the one that he originally marries? I forget her name right now off the top of my head. But she's not evil at all. She's just got issues. And in the remake, she has real issues. Like he jumps into this marriage and she's actually a whack job in the remake. But kind of. Okay. I mean, yeah, she's got some issues.
Yeah, no, I thought his wife was sweet. You know, I a little on the annoying side. You know, obviously. I mean, okay, so so I'm sure it's okay to maybe go into spoilers or like.
Yeah, I'll put them up. Go ahead.
Okay.
Spoilers.
So I'll let everybody kind of mute and stuff and kind of do their thing, turn their volumes down or whatever. But okay, so right after they get married at the beginning, and they're on their honeymoon, they start driving down and they pull in Virginia and stay. Or first off, before they get married, he's trying to get some, and she's like, "Want to wait? Nobody waits anymore," and she makes him wait. So now they're on their honeymoon. They're driving down. They pull into the motel, and they start to be intimate, and then it happens. And then it goes to the aftermath, and he's just sitting there it was, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it was just awkward. And but it was the first time. But I wrote down after that, I saw him and I started chuckling. I was like, there's a reason you need to test drive.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like, in this happens in the remake as well, but he doesn't like the circles she's drawing with her fingers. And she's like, okay, I'll draw boxes.
Well, see, yeah, that was the thing. It's like when he was disappointed with the sex, everything else that she did just grated on his nerves and he couldn't stand it. And I was like, oh, this poor girl. But I get it.
Singing too. Her singing bothered him. But these are things in the remake, they really kind of, I don't want to say demonize her, but in the original, she's not evil at all.
No, like I said, sweet girl.
In the movies, they're to paint a picture of how stupid men can be and how it's like, I feel like this movie is an example of like, if women want to, how women oftentimes call men stupid. Like this should be the definition of what makes a man stupid. This movie, like and we'll get to the ending because I have a lot to say as I rewatch the ending as well. But because I have a lot to say on that kind of bit at the end. But I'll let you keep going. This one I'm interrupting you a bit.
I was like, I was like, there's a reason you test drive, and I was like, okay. And then they're finding stuff out about each other. I'm like, how long did you date? How long did you date before you got engaged and you got married? I was like,
it wasn't long, that's for sure. I
that's
think
what I'm thinking. I'm like,
said it.
that's what, yeah, because that's another thing I wrote. I was like,
He says it to the dad. He's like, well, I'm not going to make this mistake again or whatever. He's like, I didn't get to know her as well or something like that. I think, yeah.
So I was like,
he's funny. There's a lot of dry humor in this. It's not overly, they say funny movie. I don't think it's hilarious by any stretch of the imagination.
no.
I think it's more comedic and dry humor where it's just like you're just watching stupidity unfold. And
Right. Watching utter, like, oh my God. When I first saw her, sorry, this just popped up. She was a baby. Sybil Shepherd was such a baby. When the same year that Taxi Driver came out, or like right around then. So
well, Taxi Driver was that. I think this was before Taxi Driver though. When was Taxi Driver? 73 or something like that.
That's what I'm thinking is right around this time, because she's very, very young. So
I know John is probably in the chat telling me what your Taxi Driver was, but yeah, this was a little bit before. I'm pretty sure this was before Taxi Driver. I thought it was. I could check, but yeah, let's see.
But yeah, no, when he first meets her and she's kind of flirty, you're laying in my spot, and stuff.
76. Taxi Driver 76. So this was, I think that was 72. I'm pretty sure. Heartbreak Kid. Yeah, it was 72, and Elaine May directed it. So she did a couple other things as well. But yeah, I ended up watching The Graduate right after this. I got in a mood for a double feature.
That's awesome. That's another one I need to rewatch. I haven't seen that in years, but I do remember enjoying it. So he just like all of a sudden just head over heels, just automatic. It's like
Sybil Shepherd in the 70s would have probably done that to me too. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. And her and Faye Dunaway too as well. Back in like Bonnie and Clyde in the 60s.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But so then it just starts the lies he tells his wife just start getting more outlandish and more crazy. With each time he's trying to meet up with Sybil Shepherd, it just I'm like, okay, meet up with your buddy. Okay, that sounds believable. Meet up with your army buddy. All right, cool. And then he gets so, where have you been? I thought we were gonna have dinner. Car wreck, ambulance, hospital. Just over this more and more, and and then I don't know. To me, I don't know why I got this vibe, but when he was like really in all in, it was giving me like stalker vibes. Like, whoa, dude, kind of.
Especially when he goes, we still got spoilers on, so it's fine. But when he goes to, because this is a spoiler as well, when he gets his divorce, which is crazy seeing too, because he's like, I could do better for you. He's like, no, it's okay. I just want to get this done.
Right.
He's like, I actually had a girl while I was out there, and his lawyer's just like, huh? And then he goes to Minnesota, and that's when he almost gets a little stalker. She's like, he's hiding behind a tree in the one scene.
Okay, so all day at school, I was like, whoa, like just popping up, hey. I'm like, whoa, dude. Yeah. But yeah, that's one of the things that I had an issue with, was the stalkery feel, like there, especially towards the end, like you said, like once he gets to Minnesota and then he's like just
following her. She'll do that to you.
That's what I was like. There's another thing, like when he was like making all these plans, like, I'm gonna leave my wife and it's like his delusions of the future with Sybil Shepherd, and then she's sitting there and she's just like this, and she's so indifferent, and she's just okay.
I didn't realize how young she was until they showed that she was in college. I don't know if they ever pinpoint his age.
I think
That was actually
everybody. It's crazy because it's funny because
he
somebody
had to
put
be
on
in his late 20s or
I
30s
think no
because in the
because I think they said like they were both like 23. Him and Lila were like 23, and so Sybil's still in
okay, so he
college.
had just finished college, I guess. But he in the remake, they're in 30s, at least late 30s, like mid to late 30s. Yeah. So people didn't like that either, that they made him older in the remake.
Right.
That was another complaint. The remake gets a lot of bad reviews, a lot of hate, man, a lot. People really like the original Heartbreak Kid. They really like this one. At least like you go on Letterboxd, you'll see that a lot of love for this one and a lot of hate for the remake. I like both. I like both, man. I gave this one 4 stars. I think, I don't know, there's something, and I try to always put myself in shoes of 1970s. But
oh, most definitely. Whenever you watch a movie, you got a kind of little mindset of what times were like back then.
How about the ending though, when he's essentially sitting there and the movie ends with the closing shot of his face, like just sitting there. He's talking to her whole family. He's getting to know her whole family after the wedding because he marries her. And he's realizing that his political views and the way he views everything
Life
not aligned with her family at all. Like he's so different, and he's sitting there. He can't relate to this family. He misses his traditional values versus this family's values, and they just don't align. And it's almost, you could see him sitting there. And I really I kind of was studying the ending afterwards, but I was like, as I watched it a second time, and I'm like, it's almost like you could see the regret. I don't know if there's regret of marrying her, but you could definitely get the feeling that he's like, how am I ever going to relate to this family? Her dad, for one, hates me.
like I said, my favorite character, just deadpan, straight face, just everything about him. I just like his, and I know I've seen him in other things, and I didn't look him up in IMDb.
Fish, the wine, there's no deceit. Or what was it? What he says?
Oh my gosh!
The food. It's the calamari.
But yeah, I was talking about the food.
Like,
and how wholesome and down. Yeah.
He says there's no deceit in the calamari or whatever food it is. And the dad takes him in the back. He goes, I was very impressed by what you said. I've never seen such a load of dog shit in my life, or something like that. He's just like blown away by how stupid he is. Just like, there's no deceit. The way he says there's no deceit in the duck or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I've never heard anybody say that either. But this was the one comedy, so you just got the comedy off the list. See, this is why I don't recommend comedies, because I don't recommend good comedies, I guess.
Oh no! It was fine. Like I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, like two and a half would have been, like right in the middle. I was like, but for me, yeah, I like his character was like, I don't know, just too much for me at times. So that's why it came down a little bit. I was like, yeah. Okay, so another one of my favorite scenes involving the dad was when they were going boating, and he saw him getting out of the car and start to change, and he just hauls ass up to the front and starts to undo the boat and kicks it off, and he's like,
thanks for waiting for me. He's like, I appreciate you waiting. He says, thanks for waiting for me. Wait for you, dude.
Oh my God. I was like, man, okay, but yeah, the dad, like I said, my favorite character. I don't know why. I just loved him. Obviously he's trying to protect his little girl and her best interest. Yeah.
So at 2, I got 60 unread messages here on the chat. I'm assuming it's a lot of highs.
I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again, but I definitely will check out the remake because I want to see the differences.
Speaking of, there's a memorable scene in the remake with Melanie Ackerman. So she's like a very kinky in the remake, and she's like, power drive me or whatever. Like, there's some some pretty wild sex scenes in the remake. Let's just put it that way, man. Fish will really enjoy the remake. He might. Maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. Mel says, "What's up, Fish?" We've got hi Mel. Lots of hi Mels. What's up, everyone? Bobby Blue. What's up, Mel? How are you, Mel? How you doing? Mel, my love. We got Caprice in the chat. I saw her up there earlier. I failed.
Hello, darling.
Point that I apologize. Mel just saying hi to everyone. What's up, Jane Doe? Hello, Caprice. Adrian. Yes, Mel, I thought you would come and look for me. Adrian says, hey, Mel, always. What's up, Corey? Hi, Caprice. We've got Happy Optimist. Prince is in the chat. Bob. Sounds bad when it's written like that. Mel, behold the great royalty that is Prince. Red Leader Corey. Hey, Prince. We've got the best uncle of all. Hi, Uncle Tony. I think he used to call him Grandpa, and Tony didn't like that. We've got John Doe Juggalo with a new logo that I haven't seen before. Good evening, Bob. Fish in chat. Eli's in the chat. What's up, everyone? Jane Doe says, what's up? Hi, Jeff. Hi, Eli. Just a lot of highs back and forth. Not so much talking about the movie. I didn't think a lot of people would have seen this one.
Right.
I try to put a movie on everybody's list that is a wild card, like a 10-inch hero, stuff like that.
But nobody's ever heard of it. I mean, I've heard of the remake, but I didn't know there was a original.
I'm not hitting with those deep cuts. It's not so much that the 10-inch hero sucks or Would You Rather sucks because, or I'm sorry, Friday Night Light. Freaking, I'm looking all over the place here. Heartbreak. It's not so much. I'm looking at my list here, but it's not so much that I did this last week.
Good thing the spoilers thing is still up.
yeah. I gotta take that off. But it's not so much that it's like the Heartbreak Kid, for example. It's not that I can't pick a good deep cut. It's that you got to pick the right person to give a deep cut to. You know what I mean? So, like,
right.
For example, 10-inch hero, Mizzy liked it. Tim hated it. You know what I mean? Heartbreak Kid doesn't work for you, but it might work for other people. So anyway, I'm gonna take the spoilers off now. I crap all the time. That's my bad.
But, no, you're good. You're good. That's what this is about. It's about, talking and sharing and interacting.
I do feel like I know your number 9, but we'll see. I think Mars Attacks on Blu-ray is out of print. We got Dell in the chat saying, what's up? Where spoilers are off the screen now. I think we're going to dive into number 9. If there was anything else you wanted to say, I do apologize. I felt like I was not giving you the floor on that.
No, I'm good on that one. Yeah.
That was the one I was having a hard time finding a picture that filled the screen, so I had to do it a different way. So now they're all up here lined at the top perfectly. So what is number 9?
I think I just know that Heartbreak Kid is the only 2. Okay. So they went up.
Everything's up.
They went up.
Yep.
And they're over average.
What? If number 9's my number 1, there's going to be problems.
I hope not. Okay, so Love and Other Drugs.
Okay, all right. Love and Other Drugs with Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway.
Wonderful Anne Hathaway. So I gave this a 3. So it was over average for me.
Over average, right? That's what I call. Yeah, for my 3s, everybody's different because some people. I know people that don't like movies and they give it 3. So everybody rates movies differently. For me, a 3 means above average.
Yeah, above average. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Oh my god, and also a little heartbreaking at times too.
It can be. Yep, which I like that it takes itself seriously. It's
absolutely.
It's not really a rom-com. It's got a little comedy in there, but
right. No, absolutely. I would consider it in that rom-com family, but more towards the drama side of that. But I did enjoy this one. Both characters, their chemistry is amazing. I love both actors. Period. So I love to see good chemistry between 2 people that I really enjoy watching on screen. But this takes we can talk about it takes a look at like a kind of a real look at big pharma and diseases and how money and things can kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? Kind of geez, man, why am oh my gosh. Okay, so let me start over. Yeah. Okay. So this it takes a really good look at what big pharma was like in the beginning. Um, when it was all about pushing your drugs for, things. And some of them have wonderful benefits. And then some of them are, just, I don't know, just out there to make money. Anyways, but, the disease we're speaking of here is one that I don't know very much about, but after watching this, I kind of do want to do a little research. But Parkinson's, Michael J. Fox is a big supporter in research and stuff like that. So I tried to go. I went into all these movies as blind as possible. Like I just looked them up and where I could find them, and if it was streaming, then I could find it on streaming. But if it wasn't streaming, I tried to find it physical. And I did buy a couple movies, so I could watch them. But I mm, I don't know. This one, because it was disease, um, and people handle things differently. You know, at the beginning it was more of a comedy, and then towards the middle it started to get more of the heartfelt, the drama, and that's where I kind of fell into it. I enjoyed the comedy because that lightheartedness, and then the way they met. I don't go into spoilers for that right yet, but the way they met, and I enjoyed their interaction.
I would have liked to meet her the same way. I would like to meet her the same way they met.
I'm sure. Um, but yeah, no, I enjoyed this one. I did. Once again, their chemistry was fantastic. The subject matter, though heavy in some areas, um, the comedy and the chemistry kind of didn't bring it like so far down to where you're like, oh my god, just depressed. But I really enjoyed this. I don't know.
There's one scene I love when it's, I believe Josh Gad is, I get him and the other guy mixed up, but he's jerking off to his brother's sex.
I mean, do you want to put spoilers up?
Sure, I really should have spoiled that, but like that's
that's actually a note that I that I have as well. Caught him masturbating.
Yeah, to his brother's sex tape.
Yeah. Okay. Now, after they met, and
I would never jerk off to any. No.
I was looking at her. Oh, my girlfriend.
Yeah, right. No.
But I love. Okay, so like I said, I love their chemistry. I love that she's got his number, and she's like, boom, boom. I know who you are. I know what kind of person you are. I know exactly who you are. Like sales rep, I know you. I got your number. She's like, you can't. Like, I love that she wasn't afraid to like call him out on all this shit. But and then like I said, the brother was annoying yet funny. Um, one of his quotes: "Were you molested? Were you molested by a Care Bear? What's wrong with you?" I don't know why that caught me. I don't know why that cracked me up so much.
I write down quotes a lot too myself when I'm doing these streams.
I don't know why that got me. It was just like, "What's wrong with you? Were you molested by a Care Bear?" I don't know why that just got me. But when he and his boss were talking about the drugs that they were going to sell, and then trying to make quota, and whoever is top dog has the opportunity to go to Chicago, I was like, okay, I see where this is going. So he's either got to make the choice of Chicago, Chicago, the girl. So I was like, all right, I see where this is.
I'm picking the girl every time, not just Anne Hathaway. I'm picking the girl because for one, I live out near Chicago, South suburbs. I'm taking the girl, and I don't even like. That's actually the whole job thing versus. It's it's interesting because a career you need to make money. We all need to make money. We understand that. I don't know, passing up on a chance at a relationship at love doesn't come around every day.
No,
And
absolutely.
I don't think I want to pass if I had that opportunity, I'm taking the chance at the relationship every time. And I don't know, that's a tough one though. It's an interesting concept and an interesting conversation to have with different people because I'm sure everybody would give a different answer on that. And it also is different if you're already married because then it's harder to question that because you're already in a relationship. You know what I mean? But
Right.
if you're single, it's easy to like yourself and myself, single people. It's easy to put ourselves in a situation like that and ask, what would we do?
No, no, absolutely. Because I don't know, I haven't been in a relationship in over 20 years. I'm a very independent person, so I'm not saying I would have an easy time like choosing, but it would also, I guess, depend on how long we've been dating. I like that's a factor. I don't know, but once again, I'm not in a relationship, so I don't make those decisions. But I get where she's coming from, especially because she has this debilitating disease that has no cure, and she's only going to get worse as time goes on. And I can see why she has those boundaries she has when they first start doing the thing. It's like, this is it, boom. This is just what it is, and nothing more, and kind of basically no emotions. I'm putting up, these are my boundaries. And then he just, slowly but surely whittles away at him, and he lets her guard down, lets him in. But I get why she like pushes him away because he thinks he might be better off because she knows what's going to happen to her,
Mhm.
and so it's it's almost like um, I wrote it down here. The disease and addiction. Addiction is a disease as well. And I've known people like alcoholics or drug addicts that have pushed people away because they think that they would be better off without them, around or in their life or whatever. So I
There's a well,
understand.
there's a movie and it's not on this list, but you said addiction is a disease, and I agree with that, right? But um there's a movie out there and he's in like rehab and Mizzy's seen the movie before. I'm pretty sure he has. I don't know how many people have, but it's called A Million Little Pieces. And he they're talking about heroin and all that stuff. And he says, addictions, it's my choice, which I agree with, right? Like it's my choice to use heroin. It's my choice to have a drink or not, to do drugs, whatever it might be. But the guy in there, the sponsor and everything, and they're having conversation. He's like, but it is an addiction. Or it is a disease because at 5 years old, would you have made the choice to want to use heroin? You would not have chosen this life for you if you could avoid it. He's like, so it is a disease. And I actually agree with both. I actually do think it's a disease, but I also absolutely it's free will and it is my choice to use or not, like when talking about disease. But I do agree it's a disease, and I know that this movie's not about addiction, but like you said, addiction's a disease as well. And disease is there's a lot of other movies out there like that as well, though, like cancer and stuff like that, where people are like, I don't want to be I don't want to burden you. I'm
I
going
don't
to
want to be
be
a burden. Exactly.
right.
Exactly. I don't want to be a burden. I don't, yeah. Especially when when they went to that conference in Chicago and they went to the one across the street, like the more, like, I guess I would be more natural or, not so much, big pharma oriented. Like, how long for you? You're like, my wife, about 20 something years. And then he just laid it all out. What he's got, the life he's got coming to him. And I was like, oh God, no, man, don't do that. I was like, don't do that. I mean, and then after he laid it all out, he was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, I'm like, really? You just told him the rest of his life is basically, you know,
A
not,
nightmare.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's gonna lose function. She's gonna lose,
You do.
her mind. She's gonna lose everything. And
It's
I,
one of those things, man. Like, it's scary to think about, and unfortunately, people can have an like influence you or impact your decision. You know what I mean?
yeah,
When you hear things, like what it's going to be like. You could scare an addict into trying to get sober by telling him how difficult the road to recovery can be. It could be like, I don't want to go through that. That sounds like hell,
right.
because you don't know anything else other than the drug itself already. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm turning this into an addiction, and we'll get to that later on.
But no, when he tells him, I go upstairs, pack my bags, and leave right now. I was like, holy shit. I mean, I understand where he's coming from because he had lived that life, but I was like, wow, bam. He's like, don't get me wrong, I love my wife. But yeah, I I was like, wow. And then he just made him second guess himself in this whole thing. But then he took it the complete opposite way and was pushing too hard to find her a cure, and like just dragging her all these new um oh my gosh, trials and stuff like that. And she she told him like she finally had enough, and she's like, I don't want this. She was like, I don't want to be Parkinson's. I don't want that to be all I am. She's like, I want a life. I want to do things. I don't want to be just this. I don't want this to be all I'm known as. And I totally get that too. And I get where he's coming from because he doesn't want to lose her and he doesn't want to see her go down that road. But she's kind of made her peace with it because she knows that there's no cure, and that's heartbreaking in itself too. But where was I going?
I just realized, Fish, we're almost an hour in, and we've only covered 2 movies. At this rate, it will be a 5 hour show.
You know what?
We
I
might
kind
have
of
to,
thought.
like,
I kind
condense
of. I
the
was like,
thought
because
there.
I've got on my notes on my higher ones. I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna be here forever. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I enjoyed.
Avoid story as much as our thoughts, so we
Yeah,
could keep it.
right. But what's it? I wrote down here, it hits all the beats of a rom-com for me because it does have the comedy and it does have the drama and it does have the love, of course. But yeah, it does have a heavier subject matter, which I liked because it kind of like based it in reality for me a little more. But yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah.
others on here I liked a little more. So
Yeah, which is fine. Love and Other Drugs is not my number one. I'm going to take spoilers off the screen. I would give it 4 stars. The first time I watched it, I liked it even more. I gave it 4.5. Upon a rewatch, I gave it 4. Love and Other Drugs is a damn good film, Johnny says. I know why Bob likes this one. Boobs are not the reason why I like this one, but everybody, of course, thinks that. Caveman watching, 12 likes, smash the like button. Caveman, how you doing? It took that serious turn a lot like Sweet November did. I remember that one with Charlize Theron. I haven't seen that since theaters.
that's another one I haven't seen.
Penn State. Awesome. The stream has turned into a discussion about masturbation. Hey, Bob and Fish. Oh boy, Tony P. Somebody said it's only legal in Kent State. Now I know what Eli was talking about. It's jerking off to your brother. Hey, Tony, if somebody's popping in, they don't understand the reference. But watch the movie Love and Other Drugs and you understand. Johnny's don't all Bob's streams get around to masturbation at some point? I don't think so. Happy birthday to Andrew from the Steelbook crew. Johnny, blah, 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 read that one. Hey, Mizzy, 20 years. No wonder this went right to masturbation. 20 years since you've been in a relationship. Yeah, Bob looks so serious right now. I'm always pretty serious. I smile and I'm always looking serious. The Million Little Pieces, great movie, tough watch. It is. It's great. I love it. Tubi recommends Requiem for Movie Night. One Day I'll Bite. Mindfuck Material, Requiem for a Dream. So Requiem for a Dream, hot take, but it's like the only addiction film I don't like. It is very rare. A lot like I like shark movies, shitty shark movies, but there's a lot of bad ones. It is difficult to find a shark movie or to find an addiction movie that I don't like. Requiem for a Dream, I'll have to rewatch it. It's got one of the greatest scores I've ever seen and some great performances, but the style is not for me.
I get you. I get it. That that stylized that style of filmmaking. I get
and I
it.
want more emotion. See, when it comes to addiction, I want some hard realities, and there is in it Requiem for a Dream, but it's not as emotional gut punch for me, at least. I didn't get that emotion.
I mean, with that one, it's a little more. It takes you into it. It makes you feel like you're on drugs. So
yeah, in a way, I didn't. I guess that's what maybe I didn't like. Like I said, it's one of the only addiction movie I don't like because it's rare.
When I worked at the video store, they sent us one of those screeners, and I watched it then, and I haven't watched it since. That was over 20 years ago.
I literally would play the score just while I'm driving.
I would just have it on in the background and just listen
to the score, dude. It's that good. There's some great scores out there, man. A lot of scores that people don't recognize, like well, I guess he's not on your list tonight, but there's some really good ones. Some great scores. Hey Bob, who's next in the Hall of Fame? It'll be Allie at some point. No date, Adrian, no date. Allie though at some point. Do you want to move on to number 8?
Sure.
Okay. 32 people watching. I appreciate everyone who's here. Yeah, we're almost.
So this is your what would they call this? This would be your
kryptonite, whatever.
Kryptonite.
Yeah, so far Tony and so we'll see. We'll see where you go with number 8.
So okay, so everybody before me, it's been a movie that you really loved that they've like kicked in the teeth.
On Tim's list, Disconnect was number 8, which is in my top 10 of all time. And Men of Honor is top 5 of all time.
I do know that.
And that was Tony's number 8. So even higher than Disconnect. So both those number 8s were in my top 10 of all time. We'll see. Now, I don't have any movie in my top 10 of all time on your list, but there is one movie that wrecks me on this list. And if that's your number 8, it will wreck me again.
I don't think this one will wreck you. I think I'm gonna follow suit with Tony, and it's Chill Factor with Cuba Gooding Jr.
That's fair. That's not good. Thank you for breaking the number 8 here. Let me get Chill Factor popped up here, right here. Yeah, Skeet Ulrich, which we were talking about. I know you're very attracted to Skeet Ulrich in the 90s. A lot of people are, but there's Chill Factor from the 90s. Tim is a big fan of this one. He has a one sheet poster of it, actually. And I have a DVD snapper case of this one, and I rewatched it, and it's fun.
Yeah, no, exactly. I had fun with this one. Yeah, I bought the DVD snapper case too. So this is one that I didn't own that I actually picked up. So
it's a fun movie.
Yeah, no, so I enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun with this one. I like 90s action. Because
how many stars, bro? How many stars?
3. Sorry, 3. Gave it a 3. But it was above Love and Other Drugs because of the action and the comedy in it, and the back and forth between Skeet Ulrich and Cuba Gooding Jr. was a lot of fun. Crazy situations they get themselves into. Yeah, no, I like I said, I took notes on everything, so I don't know if I didn't take a whole lot here, but just little things, just scenes. I don't know. There's where they were being chased. I don't know if you want to
spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers, right? But yeah, no, this was a fun 90s comedy. When they're on the road and they're running and they're in the ice cream truck, and they have the bikers with them or like chasing them, and they get up next to the car. I don't understand, and they actually did it, but I don't understand why nobody ever he's on a motorcycle. He's on 2 wheels. Fuck him up. I mean, you're in an ice cream truck. But so So when he actually did move over and he hit that logging truck, I was like, holy shit, that's some reverse Final Destination shit right there. Because like he hit the front and then all the logs kind of fall off the back. I'm like, that's messed up, but that was cool. I like that. Sorry.
That's true. That's a good point. A lot of movies don't do that. And not to be mistaken, this is the chill factor from like 96,
99. Yeah.
99. It's with Cuba Gooding Jr. There's an Arrow Video chill factor. This is not the same one. This is not a horror movie. So don't mistake the two because they're very different movies. But there's another movie called Chill Factor and Arrow.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one when I googled chill factor. So this one popped up first, and I was like, oh, okay. I do remember that movie, seeing the cover for it. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. When they decided to when they flipped the truck over and they decided to take the boat and go down the mountain, yeah, crazy. And then they're hanging on the ledge, and I was like, lean back, come on, and then kind of even it out, and they did, and then yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Was
but
fun.
The way they were sitting on that ledge made it look like they were going straight off into the water, way the fuck down there. But when it came down, more mountain to go down. I was like, oh shit, that fucked me up. That almost fucked me up because I was like, oh.
Yeah, there's it's like without a paddle type of stuff right there. Yeah.
But the beginning, that explosion in the beginning, where it wiped out that whole island, that was gnarly. That was crazy shit. Where it just melted everybody's skin, just like legs were gone.
Above 50 degrees.
Yeah. So, and I was like, okay, I get why they call it chill factor. I get why this movie's called chill factor. You got to keep it down. Got to keep the tent down. Now the guy that they put away, it sucks that they put him away because he actually wanted to do the right thing, get everybody off the island. And then you got the scientist who's like, no, I think I found something and we're going to go ahead and do this. And he was like, all right, well, after this, we're going to get out of here. They didn't have the calculations right. And because he was military and it was a military, experiment, that it all fell on his shoulders, even though the scientist was the one that, yeah.
You always need a scapegoat, and their scientist is their scientist, so they need.
So after doing that, him in prison for 10 years, you made the perfect villain. You put him in there for 10 years for something that he didn't do, and just sat there and festered, and just basically pissed off for 10 years, and yeah, he's gonna come out and he's gonna do some shit. So. Not that I agree with the stuff he did, but I'm saying I get where his mind went with this.
He's a good villain in this. I did like the villain.
Yeah. So, but pretty straightforward action comedy. Nothing out of the ordinary. Like I said, I did
enjoy cop movie without cops. I mean,
right. And see, as soon as they came out of the restaurant and started to go to the ice cream truck, that's exactly what popped in my head. I was like, buddy cop, but neither one of them is a cop.
Yeah, so, it's a buddy movie without buddy action movie. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's pretty much straightforward 90s action comedy, just a lot of fun.
And I know you like the 90s action, so I figured.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So like I said,
the spoilers off here. Okay, did you want to dive into number? Well, I'm going to catch up with the chat here.
Yep.
Let's see here. Skeet. A lot of skeet. Okay, he's doing the song, Holland. Jane says, Steve, haven't seen Chill Factor. I love Skeet. Love Chill Factor. Yeah, we've got Steve in the chat. Excelsior movie reviews. What's up, Steve? Chill Factor is a fun watch. Hey, Jane Doe. Chill Factor is awesome, Eli says. I agree. We need more likes. Oh shit, Chill Factor. I forgot about that movie. Just an FYI, likes, I appreciate it. I don't care at all. That doesn't matter. I just appreciate everyone who's watching. It doesn't matter if you hit the like button to me or not. Chill Factor's on YouTube, just FYI. Adam haven't watched it in years. Jane Doe Letty says Chill Factor is a really fun time and great cast. Johnny says stealing ice cream to get back at your boss. He's on two wheels. Fuck him. Fuck him up. I have to leave this on mute as I have not seen any of these. I think it's a good thing, though, because I do believe I missed some sort of conversation earlier that I would not care to hear. Well,
it was tame. It was tame, I promise.
Watch Love and Other Drugs. Just got in the Ninja Terminator box set. Nice. You may be right, Tony. Earmuffs, Tony, earmuffs. I do forget, like, sometimes Jeff's mom, Nikki, I feel bad. And she's going to be on my channel for one-on-one. I'm going to be as professional as possible with her. There won't be any conversations about love and other drugs and sex tapes with Nikki on the channel. Draculina Horror says earmuffs, Tony. And don't worry, Nikki did not recommend 50 Shades of Grey or anything like that, so there will be no conversations like that. Joe says Chill Factor reminds me of Fled with Stephen Baldwin. Tony, I have to say, not too many names to be entered on Tony's list. Fled was a good time. I love Fled, not to be confused as Biker Boys. I love Biker Boys. I'm a huge Biker Boys fan. I do not care. Bob and Fishin just popping in now. Power slap that like button, people. Hey, Vin, and just people laughing. What's up, Vin? Okay, number 7. We are going to go over number 7 now. Let's see if... thank you for breaking that curse on number 8 that Tony and Tim created.
Okay,
let's see.
No, you like Chill Factor. It's just not like up there for you. So
it's a good movie. It's not a masterpiece at all. I gave it 3.5 just for nostalgia. It's more like a 3-star movie, but it's just 3.5 for me.
Cool, awesome. All right,
what's
number 7? Okay, now this is where I think I might start getting to disappoint you. I don't know. We'll see. Number 7, Waves.
Wow, Waves is your number 7. Okay. Hey, no, I'm not really disappointed by this. I think this movie is a borderline masterpiece. I give it 5 stars. I rewatched it a couple months ago, so I did not get around to rewatching it in the last couple weeks. I'm very surprised by it being this low because I thought you would really like this movie.
No, I did. I gave it 3.5. I gave it 3.5.
Like I said, let's try and avoid as much diving into story because they could always look that up. So we'll just try and get save
my
time.
impressions. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I gave it a 3.5. I liked it. It was. As soon as I saw A24 pop up, I was like, oh shit, what am I in for? Because their movies can go all different kinds of ways. So I mean, they don't focus on one area or genre in their movies. So and they all can be a little on the odd side. So I went into this one a little trepidatious, like, what am I gonna see here? But
what bothers me about this one is everyone talks about Moonlight. I think it's called Moonlight, right? With
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, that one. I think Waves is a better movie than Moonlight.
See, I still haven't seen Moonlight, so I'll check it out. But yeah, no, I like this one. The beginning was very I wouldn't say intense, but
this whole movie's intense.
Yeah. I think why it was lower on the list for me was because it felt like 3 movies in one, because it had 3 different parts to it.
It's a tale of 2 halves. The movie is
right. Absolutely. And I don't know, for some reason, like this, I was expecting to follow the first half like all the way through, and then
by the way, this is Taylor Russell.
Yes. I as soon as the credits.
Who's that bitch?
I know that bitch now.
Yeah, this is Taylor Russell in this movie, by the way.
Yes. As soon as the
owned it, and you didn't even realize it.
As soon as the credits started going, because I like to watch the credits and see who was in the movie, and because there's some actors that I still don't know. like Miss Russell here, but as soon as I saw her name, I was like, there it is. I watched the Taylor Russell movie. Sweet, now I know who that bitch is. But no, she was
Yes.
fantastic. I really enjoyed her in this. I really did. The sister was amazing. She portrayed so much in without saying anything most of the time in this movie. You know, because it was especially after what happened at the beginning, like the middle part when it becomes um, a little more heavy. Uh,
You
for
know
me,
what? The one
not that the
scene
beginning, not that the
really
beginning wasn't
important.
heavy, but uh, oh,
I
sorry.
like the beginning in the car. The camera's just spinning around the whole entire inside of
That is exactly
the
that's the
car.
first note that I put on here.
And then the when it flips its script, it does it again, just in a different with different characters, so to speak,
Right. That
in a
is the very
different
first
light.
note that I wrote was interesting camera angles and shots. That I was like, oh, that's really cool. That rotoscope just going around in the car. It looked awesome. Uh, um, and then transitions where you see you see the lights and they're kind of going in and out. Um,
You see,
but
this movie is an
Sterling came.
example.
Oh, sorry.
This No, you're fine. This movie is an example, though, of uh one moment how it could ruin your entire
Oh
life.
no,
One
absolutely,
mistake,
absolutely.
one
Yeah.
mistake, 1 second, anything like that. All it takes is a moment, and it happens in a split second. Out of anger, anger can ruin your entire life.
Right. Not even just one person's, you know, it affected everybody around. So, you
That's a great,
know,
great point. Yes, great
yeah.
point.
So, you know, you didn't just affect you, everybody else around you felt, you know, that aftershock of what you did or, you know, the mistake you made. And it hit everybody. Um, it hit everybody differently, but
I've noticed tonight you're struggling to get your
my
thoughts.
thought, yeah, because I want to talk about. I mean, because the movie's running through my head, and there's so many stuff I want to like kind of say but not say, but you know, especially when it comes to the actors. The mom was fantastic. I believe she was in Hamilton, and she was just
I
wonderful.
will never watch Hamilton.
I'd only seen bits and pieces of it. I know you're not a musicals guy, but she was wonderful. The stuff that I've seen, but she was fantastic in this movie. I really enjoyed her as well. Sterling K. Brown was very intense, um,
Good actor.
especially at the beginning. Especially at the beginning, very very alpha like male kind of. You know, had that feeling to me. And then and then Teresa Russell. That's her name, right? Yeah.
Taylor Russell.
Taylor. Sorry,
Did you
sorry.
say Bruce? Did you say Bruce Russell?
No. I said Teresa. I
Oh,
said
okay.
Taylor.
Taylor. I
Taylor
thought you
Russell.
called me Bruce. No,
No,
not Taylor Russell. Yeah, Taylor.
no, yeah. No, I really enjoyed her as well. Like I said, she portrayed so many emotions and was you know, you could see everything all over her face and body language. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed her.
And Lucas
So
Hedges is good too in it.
yes. No, he was awesome. It's just the way he went from, you know, the loving and oh gosh, it just when he found out some bad news, uh he he didn't know how to handle it. And I don't know, it's, especially that situation when you're that young and you put everything you are into something and it gets taken away or you know and you you lose your kind of self identity because this is something that you worked for and done for so long that you know it's rough that you not that you don't have anything to fall back on but you feel like you lost all purpose and that's tough, it's rough, and it makes you once again push people away. You're angry because you have no control over it. It's just yeah. So I like I said, I enjoyed this one 3.5. I but I I don't know. I don't know if I was. I don't know what I was expecting, but I thought I was gonna continue on with kind of the first act, like the
Yeah,
rest of
it flips the script. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna catch up with the chat here. This one, you want to avoid spoilers on. Least Biker Boys is not Twerk. That movie is horrible. I think I remember Twerk. I don't know if I saw it. Biker Boys are Twerk. LOL. Bob just doesn't know how I can handle the guy talk. He may be in for a shock. This just made me and Nikki best friends. In Step Brothers, we just become best friends. That's me with Nikki right now. Hey Waves, I've seen this one. Oh no fish. 3-5 for me. Waves is solid. Waves is all right. Not my favorite, but made the shelf. Moonrise is better to me. See, I don't like that movie. It's that bitch. Yep. Haven't seen Waves. Looks like I'm adding. Wow, he hasn't seen Waves. Dell, you got to see Waves. Looks like I'm adding Waves to my cart. Johnny says it's a good one. Johnny, hey everyone, what's up, Tiana? We got Tiana in the chat saying hey. Everyone.
Hello, my dear.
Johnny, Sterling K. Brown with those eye daggers. Hard Copy Blue says, since we are on the subject of A24 films with black leads, Last Black Man in San Francisco is right up there with these, maybe better. See, I haven't seen Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Okay.
Holland, but I'm curious because I really like the one Mizzy recommended, Blind Spotting. So I'm curious to see Last Black Man in San Francisco, considering it takes place in San Francisco, like Blind Spotting did. Holland, what number are we on? I just got done with work. Number 6. Moving on to number 6, Tiana. This is number 7. Waves was number 7. What's up, Jane? Yo, yeah, gotta watch that one, Vin. Yeah, oh, he hasn't seen it either. Wow. Thanks, Holland. Hey, Tiana. Oh, hey, Mizzy. We have got Movie Warehouse saying, is Cannibal Holocaust on this list? It is not on this list, but it is on somebody else's list. Zombie Girl, we got Ashley in the chat saying, what's up, everyone? I believe she was the last one I did a watch list stream with. So we've got Tiana saying, hi, Ashley. Hey, Ashley, John Doe Juggalo says. Are you ready to move on to number 6?
Actually, I did want to say one last thing about Waves. When we come back to like in the middle, I love the fact that they changed the aspect ratio.
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
To the 4:3, where it looks very closed in, very, oh my god, why am I having trouble with words tonight? Very kind of,
yeah,
not
you are very.
I know, right? You know me. I'm usually pretty on it, but I don't know what's going on with me tonight. Anyways, so it felt very very boxed in, very, and then as the story goes on and people start to get back to normal, the aspect ratio opened back up. And then by the end of the movie, it's completely full screen again. So I really enjoyed that. That was really cool to me, that some of the movie was squashed down to the 4:3, and it felt very, holy jeez. Anyway,
you are riding a whole struggle bus tonight. I don't know what it is.
I am. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I come with bullet points, so I could stay on topic and keep nailing these points down. So
yeah, that's why I kind of had notes, but I'm kind of all over the place with these too.
Yeah, I gotta keep you on topic tonight. Usually I don't worry about you, Fish, but tonight we gotta keep it.
I know, right? Okay, all right.
Number 6. You ready for it? See, I'm not necessarily directly caught off guard tonight, but I'm pretty surprised that I haven't seen your number 10 or 9 that I predicted yet. So, which I'm happy with. I mean, I'm just happy that my number 1 has not been named yet.
Okay. All right. Number 6. 4 Good Days.
Oof, 4 Good Days. Okay, this is a tough watch. A very tough watch. That's Mila Kunis, in case people don't recognize her based on that picture. This movie as well.
The transformation she did to play this role it was great. I truly believe that she was
Glenn Close didn't even get nominated. They thought she would for this as a potential. By the way, everybody likes to trash on Vertical and how much I enjoy Vertical titles. This is a Vertical Entertainment title, by the way, and it was up for. They thought it was going to be Oscar-worthy performances. I thought Mila Kunis was excellent.
No, most definitely, especially with that Glenn Close. I loved her character because, I really haven't had to deal with anybody on addiction on that level, but you can see after so many years of being burned that she had trust issues, obviously, so and she set limits, set boundaries, and it's like you have to do these things to be able to, so you have to show me that you're making an effort, to.
I watched this back in January for the first time ever. Wrecked me because addiction movies get me, but I like Glenn Close and I like Mila Kunis. And then I showed it to my dad, and my dad, whenever he comes over, it's always like he wants something horror based and some good looking women. He always says to me, he wants good eye candy and horror. He wants heads getting cut off. He wants violence and all that stuff. So he came over and I said, we're watching 4 Good Days. And he doesn't know what the hell it is until it started, but he really liked it. And I knew he would. Sometimes I just got to put it on instead of letting it, because I always pick the movie. And he really liked 4 Good Days as well. I think as two people who have struggled with addiction like my dad and I have, I thought we had a very good conversation about it, which was an interesting conversation. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh yeah. Now,
but we didn't. No, I never struggled with heroin. Let me be clear, the way she does. I never shut up, and neither did my dad. But we struggled with other drugs of choice, and like alcohol and stuff like that. So it was interesting to have that. You don't have to struggle with heroin to appreciate this movie.
No. I mean, not we all have addictions, but I mean, some of us have had addictions, and it doesn't have to be like a substance per se. I mean, there's other addictions in this world that can grab a hold of you and tear you down just as bad as heroin. So it doesn't have to be an actual substance to affect your life and everybody around you. I really enjoyed this one because
How many stars, Fish?
Oh, sorry, 3.5.
Okay, another 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed this one. I don't know. I didn't have that strong of an emotional attachment. So that's why it's kind of, like I said, right there in the middle of the road for me for some reason. But I love the performances by everybody in this. Even the stepdad was great. Trying to find that balance with Glenn Close of their life without Mila Kunis, and her coming or making herself known again, coming back into their lives. He told her she's a completely different person when she's around. You don't treat me like this, And so it just shows how far addiction affects everyone, not just the person who has
right. You said right. You said that addiction earlier. You said, your choices affect everyone. About waves, the choices you make, your anger, it affects everyone around you. The decisions that you make, regrets like that.
The fact
there's
that
a lot I have to say about this one. It's just, and we're gonna get to another one that's probably even just as heavy as this one. I'm glad that the dramas hit for you because there's.
I love my dramas. I love to cry. Yeah. I love a good cry. I love getting attached to characters and feeling emotions and stuff.
I gave this 4.5 stars, 4 Good Days, and I love addiction movies. It's my favorite subgenre or genre, if you want to call it that. But when I talked to you about this after I was rewatching Peanut Butter Falcon not long ago, when you watch a movie, and granted this wasn't a 5-star movie, but I love when I like am watching a movie and this, oh yeah, Dakota Johnson's my background, by the way. But I love when I could just throw my phone away to the side and I don't give a shit about it. Like the movie I'm watching is all that matters in that
It's
moment. That's all I want to
it's all
watch.
it has you engaged. It has you there. Absolutely. No, most
Yeah,
definitely.
and I think that's a a tale or a sign that you don't care about anything else in the moment. And I love when you get so swept up in a movie, and it happens from time to time. It doesn't happen all that much, but when it happens, and this wasn't even a masterpiece to me, it's up there, But I love when you can fall in love with the movie, and it means something just so much to you that you just forget everything else for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Nothing else matters. This movie doesn't overstay its welcome. It's probably an hour and a half long, but it is a tough watch. It's heavy, and if you are I've had a conversation with somebody, and I was grateful to have a conversation with somebody that uh has a daughter and was able to relate pretty heavily to this movie. And I think that was a great conversation to have, because I think if you are a mother daughter in particular, or a mother who has a daughter who struggled with addiction, that could be very tough. Now, I would tell my mom to watch this, but she wouldn't be able to relate to it because neither one of my sisters struggled with addiction like that. So any kind of addiction, but
Well, I was
I
going to
don't know
say,
if my mom can see
wanting one. I mean,
trust
I was
movie.
going to say she could probably understand the wanting to be able to help your children, or that aspect of it. And then also there, I mean, there's some tough love, especially
I
at the
do
beginning.
think there's aspects, not every aspect movie, and I won't dive into it, but there was a couple things that really hit hard for me as a son, with my relationship with my mother, or my dad in particular, but with my mom, because just a couple things like that. I guess I put my mom through or something like that. I think that with addiction, or just your mom wanting to help you and stuff like that, not even with addiction, just in general, I think growing in, trying to, get my own place and everything like that, I think my relationship with my mom wasn't always the strongest. And so watching this movie really hit hard for me. Not, I'm not a daughter, obviously, in the movie is a mother daughter type of relationship, but I try to, when I'm watching movies like this, if it's not the drug of choice that I chose, or if it's a mother daughter relationship in a movie, or mother son, I, a mother daughter, I try to put myself in the shoes of the daughter and just understand that, okay, I can't relate to, because I'm not a girl, but I I want to like just put myself in her shoes as if it was a mother son relationship instead, or the drug of choice of the movie I'm watching. Okay, I can't relate to that. And I do that often. And I don't think you necessarily have to be able to relate completely to it, but if you can relate to aspects, I think it hits home. And there's a lot of this movie that it's pretty heartbreaking at times.
Oh no, absolutely,
I want
absolutely.
and I want to dive into some spoilers because we are
Uh,
going to talk spoilers here.
uh,
There's one, the ending, man, when she and my dad was pissed watching. He was pretty pissed, but she obviously lets her daughter go, and then she comes back and she's like, "I need your piss. I need your
Yeah,
pee."
you know what? When she came back, and she was like, "What are you doing? You got to get ready. We got to be there by 8." I was like, "Oh, cool." I mean, there were so many aspects in this movie. I was like, especially when she was going to help her friend. I was like, "Man, don't do it, don't do it." And then she
And that's
left,
where
and then
she got the heroin.
right,
Boom,
right.
right
I was
there.
like, and then when she came back, I was like, okay, she looks okay. I was like, she doesn't look like she. And then she was like, I need your piss. And I'm like, no,
And
no.
then her mom, though, like, talking about enabling, and the thing when it comes to enabling, I tell people this all the time. It's not even enabling comes in many shapes. Okay. It does. You don't have to put a drink in somebody's hand to be an enabler. Okay. The mother, in my opinion, and she wanted her to get better because she obviously dealt with it for 17 years. So I'm not in that position to understand that. But like, I didn't agree in a way with the mother giving her piss. I felt like that was enabling right there. And I get she was that close. She went through it for 5 or 6 days. She
Right.
just wanted her to get the shot or whatever. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know, there's aspects of movies, and she was trying to help her this time, but And this is based on a true story, by the way,
Right,
in case
right.
you didn't
I
know.
saw that at the end. I was like, oh, whoa, whoa, okay, okay. Inspired by real people. I was like, okay. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, enabling. I've I've seen it with people, like, just, I can't get into too many details, but like I've seen people, I've told before, I'm like, you're not putting a drink in their hand, but you've seen them drink, or like it just, and I've seen people go to meetings to understand what it's like to live with an alcoholic, or how to handle that. And I have a lot of that as well when you try to put the work in to help somebody else who's drinking and stuff like that. And it's tough. It's tough to dive into too many details and overshare and stuff like that, because some things are private and some things it's just not your business to say. You know what I mean?
right.
But I can relate to a lot of that stuff, and that's why addiction stuff always hits home for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I really had an issue with alcohol. Like it was every night, just black out some nights. Um, not remembering how I got home. Um, but now that I've gotten older, calm down. You know, I don't do that anymore. I may go grab a couple tall boys. You know, may grab some wine, but it once again, it's choices. I choose not to do those things like that anymore, and I chose to do it in moderation. I
And
still
I've
do it.
told you before, and I hope you don't mind me saying this like live, but I've told you before, hey, we came to an understanding that, like, I don't like to be around you when you drink.
Right?
We sat backstage one day, hung out, talked, and then it turned into politics as well, something I'm not, we've established, like, hey, we'll just avoid that conversation altogether. And but drinking as well. And I've told somebody else that as well, like, hey, it's just not for me. And it's like, hey, and you could argue, well, I'm not an asshole when I drink. And it's like, hey, look, it's not even about that. If somebody tells me they've struggled with alcohol in the past, we can't escape that. We're an alcoholic. Like, you might be 20 years sober. My dad is 40 years sober from drinking, but he'll tell you, hey, I'm an alcoholic. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Struggle with it every day. Yeah.
Yeah, and he always tells me, and something that I'll never forget. A couple of years ago, my dad told me, and I'm almost 11 years without having a drink. And my dad will tell me, he's like, let me be clear, man. I'm 40 years sober. He's like, but there's not a day that goes by that there's a bottle away. I'm a bottle away from like relapsing. He's like, there's always alcohol, and there's days with his wife or whatever it might be that
Stress, life.
drives
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
that he's ready to have a drink. And I'm
Yeah.
sure there was times as a kid, I know that I probably made him want to drink. I know he even said it.
Well, that's what I was. That's another thing in this movie that triggers. Talking about triggers, things that trigger you that make you want to use or to
Yeah.
um, and then like, what did she say? Why are you? Oh, she was talking to Glenn Close. Why are you a trigger? Why are you such a trigger? She was
Yeah,
calling her
she's like,
mom a trigger. You trigger me. You
yeah,
do this.
you're
You
a
do things and say things to me that make me want to go and do this. So,
yeah. Did say that to her, right? Yeah.
uh, so
I'm
um,
I'm glad you like this one, and I was trying to figure out, once again, you had just said you struggled with alcohol. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even understand that, and that's the thing. Like, for me, it's not even about, oh, I hate you when you drink. It's, if I know somebody who struggled with alcohol, I feel like if I sit there with you and you've told me, hey, I'm an alcoholic, I used to drink a lot, and I'm sitting there, and I'm not saying you're an asshole when you drink or something like that, but if I sit with you as somebody who had a problem, and I know you've had a problem, and I have as well, I feel like I'm enabling, even drink in your hand, even to just almost like I'm supporting you. And I know other people would look at that differently and say, what's the big deal? He's not an asshole. He used to have a problem. He doesn't anymore. For me, I choose not to be around that. Not because it's a trigger to me. I just don't want to be around that. And it doesn't, mean that I don't want to be your friend or I don't ever want to talk to you. It just means, hey, I'm escaping from this situation because I feel like I'm enabling you. Even if you don't feel like I am, I don't want to sit here because I feel like I'm supporting you. And I'm not interested in doing that.
Right. I totally get that. The damn, I lost my train of thought because I was wanting to agree with you. But like now, okay, that's where I was getting to. Okay, so I started doing this as like a social interaction thing to be able to hang out with people because we all worked in a restaurant together, and that's what they did. We hung out after work, maybe go grab something to eat, but usually ended up at a bar, and everybody's hanging out. Brand new, we are all just meeting each other, wanting to get to know each other, and I didn't start drinking until I was 25. I mean, I had drinks before, but I didn't like regularly socially drink. And then it just spiraled into, well, this is what we do every night. And then I've been in a restaurant since then. And then I worked in a bar, and it was there. It was always around. And when I get off work, I've made friends with regulars. They're hanging out. I'm going to hang out with my friends. I'm going to have a drink. You know, um, like I said, I don't do that anymore. I don't hang out. I don't go out. I don't do those things. And like I said, I may grab something and come home. I may go have a drink with a friend, but I'm not going to the extremes. I've learned how to um, control myself. Yeah.
And when I quit drinking, I lost a lot of friends. I remember my dad when he quit, and this isn't some secret, like, shoot, I'd have my dad on a live stream. He would talk about it. So it's not like I'm breaking some kind of secret here with my dad. Trust me, he's very open about saying this. So he wouldn't mind me saying this on a live stream is what I want to say. But my dad got caught up in coke for a little bit after he got sober from alcohol, for about 8 years or whatever. Big reason why my parents got a divorce. Once again, this isn't some secret for him. He wouldn't want me saying. We've had conversations. He'll tell anybody, you know what I mean? Because it's a part of his past. But, and then there's things, about myself too, that I'm pretty open about anything. But sure, there's always going to be things you don't want to talk about, that are a little bit more private. But where was I going? Now I lost my train of thought. But no, I remember when he got clean and he stopped, he told me, he's like, man, I lost so many friends. I wasn't cool anymore. Didn't want to go to the strip clubs. When he started going to church, all of a sudden he was like, I'm done. I'm born again Christian. Don't want to do any of that stuff. I even sometimes was like, what? You don't want to watch anymore now? And it was like, for him, everything changed. And when I was 21, I got caught up in drinking, and I didn't drink for a long time. When people they hear, oh, you're only 33 or whatever, 33 soon. And I've got near 11 years from drinking. People are like, so you quit when you were 21, 22? And I'm like, yeah, man, it didn't take me a long time. I had a problem, and I was a problem. And my dad always tells me, to this day, he will tell me, when we were hanging out last time, he goes, if you didn't quit drinking, you would have killed, you would have been dead. You wouldn't be here today. And he tells me the same thing. He goes, if I didn't quit and that's why I quit, man. I knew my dad had a problem. And this movie's not even about drinking, about hearing. But here we are talking about that, and we still got one more where we're going to dive even deeper into.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought everybody was fantastic in it. Man, the way they made Mila Kunis look like an addict, it was haunting.
Accurate.
It was haunting, But you get to the end, and what was it? A year later, 6 months, 4 months. It might have been
6 months later.
6 months, yeah, a short amount of time. But oh my God, the fact that when she came home. That's one of the things I hit. There was no alarm on the doors when she came in, when she went to go smoke a cigarette. That trust was there. that I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress,
Oh
but you
yeah,
could
for
see
sure.
where you could see where she was like letting loose of the.
There's this scene too, man. Like when she's at the restaurant with her other daughter and she can't
Oh,
focus because she left
yeah,
her wallet at
right,
home. She goes
right.
and looking. Yeah, man. It's
It's
yeah,
like I said, it affects everybody around you. Yeah, it's like the sister was not even involved in her life anymore, and she's still having it affect her.
I feel like
Trying
we
to
have to. We probably have to move on because we've been on this one for like 40 minutes. Did you have anything else you wanted to say? Because I got 45 comments. I feel like they're just watching. I feel bad. But, I always say, like, once again, I don't care, dude, about subscribers, followers, all that stuff. I don't do it for that reason. And I get it. Some people do, whatnot. That's fine. Everybody's different. I care about the people that watch. I'm here, but ultimately these streams are about you and I. Like it's our conversation. That's why I don't engage with the chat until I'm done talking.
Yeah, I
And if
do have to say that. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. There were aspects of this that hurt my heart because you could see she wanted to try, and you could see that she was still always struggling. You're going to struggle every day, like we talked about, but you could see that she wanted to be more. She wanted to be better. And then when she relapsed, that really hurt me. I was like, oh man, doing so
yeah,
good. They're doing so good. Uh,
yeah,
and then they told her this. They told her what might happen if she had the drugs in her system and she took the shot, and she did it anyway. And
yeah,
then she was standing outside the car, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. And then it cut to black, and I was like, oh fuck, did she die?
yeah. I was thinking.
Did
I
she
was
fucking
thinking.
die? So
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, that would have killed me if she died." I'm like, "Oh my god, but yeah." So,
All
but we
right.
got the ending that we got. So,
I'm gonna catch up with the chat here. Boy, I do feel slightly bad, but once again, I mean, it is what it is. I dive into conversations. 4 Good Days is so good. Oh, never mind. I seen it. Thanks, Joe. Can't wait for Nosferatu. Is it Criterion? I misspoke. I watched Waves a few weeks back with my daughter, and I liked it. Not sure why I blanked on the title. Okay, Dave Ardell. I need to rewatch myself, Mizzy. This is a rough film to watch. Heartbreaking. Yep. 4 Good Days is a good one. Bob Senior wants boobs and boobs. Dad knows best. Boobs and babes. Yeah, he does. He'll tell me. He's like, hey, I don't know, because I think it's because he can't watch any of that stuff with his wife.
at
So when he
home,
comes over, he wants horror movies and babes. You know what I mean? Speaking of, I ended up watching. I let him choose the movie one night, and it's a full moon feature title. I pulled out a Vinegar Still and a full moon feature title. I hadn't seen either one of them, and the one was like it had a lot of softcore porn in it, and of course it was the one my dad chose, and I was like, I remember talking to Mel because she was on a stream we did for the movie, and she was like, you watched that with your dad? And I was like, it kept him awake though. Like, but yeah, I watched. It was fine. I mean, it's not awkward, but because I'm just fine with my dad, like that relationship. But yeah, I watched that. Yeah, there it is again. Dakota Johnson, Johnny. Dakota Johnson, come on, man, you can't write this. Smartphones really are a damn poison. When watching a film at home, there's real value to leaving your phone in a different room so you can focus. And speaking of that, I agree completely. I did that when I watched one of Tim's movies, The Outfit. I had it charging in a different room, and so I watched the entire like hour 50, and you get lost in a movie. It's a distraction.
the one thing. The one thing. Oh, sorry.
Size. I'm just catching up with the chat. Sorry, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say one of the ones things that kind of pissed me off while watching this. Not the movies at all. Not the movies at all. But some of these I had to find on streaming, and some of my streaming services I don't have ads free. So it could be in the middle of an intense moment, and I'm all in, and I'm watching TV, and then all of a sudden, commercial without any warning. Not hey, commercial coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2. It's like bam, cut, and I'm like, I was about to let loose. Tears were about to come down my face. I swear to God, and then it took me out of it, and we're probably back in right where it cut off, and I'm like, I kind of missed that kind of, You know,
I got
so
rid of
I'm sure
streaming,
some of
man.
these could have hit me a little more different, but commercials
I
kind of.
got rid of streaming. I don't mess with that. I don't want ads, man. I
Now
just
some of these, I mean, I couldn't find anywhere else. Like Four Good
yeah.
Days, like, isn't that like a Hulu exclusive or
It
a Hulu
was
original?
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't
So,
like. I have websites I use.
oh, that's right. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
I don't. I'll find anything I want for the most part. Although one recently I had to rent because I couldn't find it anywhere online. It's out of print, so I couldn't buy it, and so I ended up buying it, renting it online, rented it on
But yeah,
Amazon.
that was one of the things that I had an issue with. Not with your list. Movies were wonderful. It's just
He says,
how I
"Fish, I've
had it.
listened to you talk forever. You're amazing, darling."
Oh, thank
Never feel
you.
bad. I don't think anything on my list has anything to do with addiction. Well, no, I've seen most addiction movies. Good luck finding a movie that deals with addiction that I haven't seen. I have a whole list on Letterboxd. Don't feel bad about going over alluded time, Bob. Each title is meant to elicit an emotion from you. Thanks, Johnny. Haha, must have been a Jess Franco film. It sounds like Bob sails the high seas. No, it was called Beach Babes from Beyond. Not Jess Franco. It's not Jess Franco, but there was some interesting ones. Ads suck. Nothing worse than being invested in a story and have to randomly watch 4 ads pushing pharmaceutical drugs before you can get back to the film. Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing. A lot of those popped up when I was watching Love and Other Drugs, and I was like, "You motherfuckers don't stop, do you?" I'm watching one. You think it's all good? You just throw them in my face now.
Number 5. What is it?
All right, number 5. I had fun with this one. Not fun, but it kept me there. Would you rather?
I knew when you said you had fun with this one. I'm just gonna leave that on the screen for a little bit. Nice razor blade right in the eye here. Do you like that poster? Oh man,
3.5 for Would You Rather.
Okay, 3.5. That's fair. I just watched it like 2 days later. You know what's funny is I use a straight blade when I shave as well, so I'm very
yes, I do know that.
used to that. But I don't put them in my eye like that. But yeah, I hope people saw that.
No,
okay, so
I like this one. I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, I tried to go into all of these without spoiling anything. No trailers, no movie synopsis. I just found where I could watch it, and if I needed to buy it, if it wasn't anywhere.
Also,
so I found
Joe says, "Would you rather?" So good, and Sasha Grey. Do you know who Sasha Grey is?
Sasha Grey was she
Well, don't spoil it. She's the jackass in it. She's the bitch.
Okay. Yeah.
She's a porn star.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did not know.
Right. So when I did that it was a topic I did a while back for a game night, and I said Sasha Grey.
Okay, I do remember that name now.
If you have Would You Rather, you could pull that for a porn star. And then I used one that has Piranha, and I know Tony has Piranha, but he's like, I don't have any movies with porn stars. I was like, Tony, you have a lot of movies with porn stars, a lot more than you think, because Piranha has multiple porn stars in it, and most people have the movie Piranha, especially Tony. I know Tony has Piranha. But anyways, yes, Sasha Grey is a porn star known for one thing in particular, Fish, but we won't talk about that.
Blueberries.
Blueberries, yes, I did see that earlier as well. Blueberries. Tiana says, "Oh God, this movie. Love your stories." Marie says, "With the movies and Fish is entertaining." Love Would You Rather. Mizzy says, "Would You Rather?" So good. And Sasha Grey. Laughing Joe. What number are we on now? Number 5. Would you rather? 5, Tony. This is 5, 6. No, 5. 5. Sorry. I wonder if Tony's seen any of these. You know what? To come to think about it, I don't think Tony's seen any of these movies. So he's sitting here just watching our antics and our emotions.
I was going to say maybe some of the later ones, but
see, Mute has been my friend.
Hey, Tony, I'm right there with you on some of these. Mute has been my friend. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, wait for the spoilers to go away. Okay, they're on to the next one.
When it comes to like lining, so I use a straight blade to line the beard. You have to. And sometimes I used to shave my head up here with a straight blade, but I sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't, because I usually cut myself.
Got a little nick every now and again.
Yeah, it's actually how I the straight blade is how I sliced my thumb open here, which there's a scar if you can see it right there. I could show you a picture sometime backstage if you want. But I texted my mom I had class that day and there's just blood all over in the sink. And I texted her a picture of the slice and my whole hand is bleeding. And she was like, "You need to go get stitches." And I was like, "I have a class. I have a bar Olympics." I was like, "I can't." And she's like, "Okay, fine." She's like, "At least go to my brother's house." And so they all work at hospitals. And he's like, "What the hell are you coming over here and you're bleeding?" You know what I mean? Like, what is
All over
going
my
on?
floor.
So I
What are
go
you
over
doing?
there. Yeah. And so he like just puts a couple band-aids. I get to college, I get to class, and I remember I start bleeding in class because the band-aid is not
You
helping at
did
all. So
holes. Yeah.
I'm flipping blood down the hall. I go up to the front, the main desk, and she's like, "It's $1 for a band-aid." And I was like, "Are you serious?" And she's like, "No, I'm just kidding." And I was like, "Do you see I'm bleeding? Like, give me a band-aid." But so yes. And then I went to my bar Olympics league, and then at like midnight I went to the gym because that's when I used to work out at the gym overnight. And then this guy was like, "Oh, you think that's bad?" He's like, "Let me tell you about my story." He was working out and he was putting a 95-pound dumbbell. Just in case people don't understand, at the gym, it's like a rack. And when you're putting it back, if it slips, it's over a ledge, kind of. I don't know how to explain it. Vin would know what I'm talking about. Well, he was telling me a story and he showed me a picture, and it was the most gnarly thing I've ever seen. He put a 95-pound dumbbell back, it slipped, and his finger was on the other edge of it. And he said it like severed his finger. And I believe it. And he's like, I went home and I was laying down and I passed out, and my wife comes in and I got a puddle of blood.
Oh my
And
God. She thinks he's dead. Oh my God.
it's like she took me to the ambulance and he showed me the x-ray. His finger was severed in half. Like the x-ray
Oh,
showed the
geez.
severed finger. It was completely severed. And so I was like, damn, bro, that is way worse than this.
Oh, geez,
Like,
man.
yeah, yeah. And the thumb though, like I have like no, see, I didn't go. I'm that kind of person. I think most men are. We don't like to go to the emergency room, go get it checked out. I've split my head open and I didn't want to go in either. I usually just go to somebody's house and I'm like, "Hey, can you get a band-aid for me?" or something like that.
You got some butterfly stitches.
I would do that. Like if I lived in Georgia, I would probably go over to Tony's with like, I would probably like, let's say I dislocated my finger or something like that. I go to Tony's and be like, "Hey, can you reset this, bud?"
You got some popsicle sticks we can wrap around this.
Be like, "What are you doing here?" I'd be like, "Well, I was playing a basketball and I split my finger." So yeah, poor Tony. Anyways, I don't know where we went off on that, but we were talking
Oh
about
yeah, no, you're good. It
KB.
was the razor blade in the eye at the beginning with
Yeah.
the.
KB, the king has entered the chat. A
Hello,
lot of
KB, my friend.
I'll just pinch myself or something, Johnny. Oh, Vin would know about the gym, not Tony, not Mizzy, but Vin. All right, the finger gore is nasty. Can we go back to talking about jerking off? Wow, Holland. Bob did it just to feel something that needs to be felt. Sounds about right. I'll just pinch myself, Johnny. You and ouch. Yep. Okay. All right. Yes. Go ahead. Just don't go
Okay,
down.
yeah. Would you rather? I didn't. Like I said, I had fun with it. I didn't have fun with it, but I really enjoyed this one. What was I going to say? It had some great surprise moments. I wasn't expecting some of the things that that happened in this movie. I do like the concept.
It's the dad from
Of a wealthy foundation wanting to help people and that are down on their luck.
John Hurt is in there, or John, is that his name from Home
John
Alone?
Hurt, yeah. When I saw his name pop up in the cast, I was like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" Oh,
I've
I
lost
love a John Hurt movie.
well, it's why I'm yeah. Yeah, dude, I get it. Let's see here. Yeah, so this one, would you rather it makes you think this is what fucking rich white people are out doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Get their kicks. Got to keep life interesting.
Like Hunt. Yeah, no, it's crazy, man.
But
This movie,
it didn't give me full on Ready or Not vibes, but it was there. Like the whole game aspect of it. Well, I was talking about the whole rich people game aspect of it. They're yeah. But I enjoyed this one. I love Brittany Snow, She's
I
fantastic.
got one
Um,
question for you. Rich white
yeah.
people. That's what we do, Mitch. W- would you take just nothing behind it? Just a quick question, quick answer. Are you taking the 2-minute barrel? Or are you taking the card, so to speak? Which one are you
Oh,
taking?
man.
After
Okay.
especially people
So
last, seems what already happened to the other people. Razor
yeah.
blade, firecracker, quarter stick.
Oh man, yeah. When you got down to that point when it's it's the bottom of the barrel, it's last man standing almost.
Keep
I
somebody who's used to gamble their whole life. I've gambled since I was 16, had gone on back, talk about addiction. I'm taking behind the card. I 2
Are you
minutes to
going
hold
that way?
2 minutes
Yeah.
to hold
See,
my ass is drowning probably.
see, but that's the thing. Is I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, well, fuck. I'm a former smoker, so my lungs aren't the greatest. I mean, they're better than they used to be, but but still.
Everyone who's seen this in the chat, so Movie Warehouse if you have, but Mizzy's definitely seen it. Would you take the 2 minutes, just write the barrel or behind the card? I just want to know what the chat would do. I'm like he says, the one guy with the quarter stick, he's a gambler. He takes the card and then the fucking quarter stick.
Like yeah, no, I think I would probably take my chances with the barrel. Oh man,
you would take your
have you
chances.
have you ever in a movie where people like hold their breath when they go swim? Do you ever do that too or try to?
When we were in theaters, my dad, literally, I'm 7 years old at the time. And my dad's like, okay, Deep Blue Sea it was. And he's like, hold your breath, hold your breath. He's like, let's go. And then he does that. My dad does it all the time. I think Tiana's talking about that. Yes, I think most of us have done that. Card for me says I'm taking the card too, man. Like I might be able to hold my breath for 2 minutes. I've held my breath underwater for a long time. I think my lungs were better when I was younger, but I don't think I'm taking the damn barrel, bro. Like 2 minutes is a long time. And I don't want to drown, man. I don't want somebody holding my head under. Like if
see now if I'm doing it myself, it's different than when somebody's got their hand on the back of your neck and just holding you there.
Yeah.
2
minutes a long damn time, man. I don't know.
It is.
Joe says we all do that. Joe, what
was messed up? It's like I was like, and he was like, and that's not even close to the world record. And I was like, let me Google this. I gotta Google this.
Oh yeah, no, the world record's like, well, one guy did like over 6 minutes.
I have freaking Kate Winslet did 7 minutes and some odd seconds for Avatar 2.
Yeah, no,
and I'm like,
I can't hold my breath for 7 minutes underwater, but
no, that's depriving your body of oxygen, your brain of oxygen.
I don't know, man.
But I'd take my chance with the barrel, because it's a sure thing. You know what you're getting into.
Capri says I would die, so she would take the card too then. But what I love about this movie, and I really like movies, as the whole chat is chiming in, it's fun when you can play along. And movie like Would You Rather, you do play along the whole time. Right. You're playing along. I mean, maybe some people are like, no, I'm not playing along. That's some vile shit that they do in this movie. But yeah, I don't know. I think that, I'd probably play along. There's another movie called Vile. I believe it's literally called Vile. And it was directed by Taylor Sheridan. It's his first movie ever. It's similar to, it's not super well made, but it's about people like having to torture themselves, and they have to get like dopamine or whatever for the pain, like to 80%, and then they can leave the room. And so they have to continue just doing vile shit to each other to get their pain level, like the dopamine or whatever, to 80%. And it's not the greatest movie. It's his first, but it's Taylor Sheridan, the guy who's directed some really good movies. If you haven't seen, I'm pretty sure it's called Vile. MVD Marquee Collection put it out.
Okay.
You should check it out. It's I like Would You Rather more, but honestly, I don't mind it. It's interesting. It's an interesting movie.
What I liked about this is like he basically, once again, choices. We're talking about choices again, Would you rather? Yeah.
Inappropriate. There's a film like
Would You Rather. Played the PG version of this.
Yeah, Tiana's always inappropriate in the chat, and Tony's over here like she's an angel. Joe says there's a film like Would You Rather called The Odds. Maybe you would like. All right. So go ahead. Would you rather talk about? Would you rather? We've been off
But
topic.
yeah, no, giving people choices. Where did
How
I
about
want to say?
okay? Since you're taking 45 minutes to think of your thoughts, I got another question for you. I'm going to put spoilers up on the screen because most people
Okay.
haven't seen this. So we're going to dive into some spoilers.
Okay.
Are,
Okay, there. This is one thing. You know, when he offered to her this foundation, this prize. It's just something. I think John Hurt said it as always too good to be true. You know, there's a catch. There's always something. You know, when something seems like it's too it usually is.
well, question for you. I mean, what did you think? For me, it resonates with me that the $50,000 to have a drink.
Right. No, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm not a vegan, so
or I was going to say, or vegan, or how strong are your convictions to make you
but yeah,
turn your back on something that you've done almost your whole life. You know, what did he say? Everybody has a price, and it's sad to say, but I believe it. Everybody does.
Everybody has. I completely believe that everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the ending though, man. I love how fucking dark this ending is. Now, for the people who have seen it, so Mizzy, I don't spoil it in the chat because people who haven't seen this, they don't spoil this in the chat because this movie's heavily can be spoiled. But did you like the ending? Now we can spoil it, but the chat better not spoil it because we got spoilers up. We're gonna dive into spoilers with the ending. But what did you think of the ending?
Hi. When you get down to it, it's me, or it's like Amy said at the beginning. She's like, it's me. It's all about me. This is a game we're trying to see. I mean, that was the porn star. What's her name? Aaron.
I'm not even Sasha Grey. I'm not even talking about how she shot him in the head at the end. I'm talking about her coming home.
Oh my God, the very end. Oh my God. Oh my God, that blew my mind. I was not ready for that. I was like, and she took showers, she got comfortable, and then she goes to wake him up. I'm ready to surprise him with this wonderful gift, and then because they set everything up to get his transplant and everything, and oh my God, when she rolled him over, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the ending. Joe says line stepping. I don't know what that is, Holland. An angel is the service of the fallen like me. Tiana is a fellow enjoyer of line stepping. Oh, yeah, that's true. Johnny, I'm an angel. Tiana is an instigator of the highest level. Definitely. I do agree with the instigator comment. I'm a fan of the ending. Haha, Johnny, only on Mondays. And Tiana, it's not quite like crossing the line. You just step on it.
But yeah, no, the very, very end blew my mind. I wasn't ready for that. I was like, ready for her to, I don't know. I thought it was going to end with her, just waking him up and saying, "Hey, I'm home. I won." And then just had a little thing and just fade off into the distance. But
because the ending works for the movie, and I do agree for the tone.
Oh yeah, most definitely
works.
Oh yeah.
Good job, Johnny. Oh, Holland, I thought it was a dance. No, well, that's not the yeah.
But yeah, there were so many surprising moments in this. I mean, they were mainly all like the choices that they made, but also the games that they were playing. I
think we should play a game like this. Me, you, Joe, Johnny. and then put the thing on our heads and electrocute us. I want to see it. I want to see if you're gonna stab Johnny or if you're gonna like take the electrocution or are you gonna get to like I think if I were the one being whipped like that one guy, I think a lot of people in this community would enjoy that. I think there would be people like, no, I'm not going to stab fish, but I will whip Bob. That sounds fun. 3 times with an African, whatever the whipping stick it was
Oh
called.
yeah, okay. So when that started to go down, and you know how he was going from jumping people, but when they got to where they were supposed to jump him, he was like Travis. I was like, oh Jesus. And you know why? It's because he pissed off the son. The son went out there and was
I
like,
wanted
"Daddy,
that.
he hurt my feelings."
I
Oh
wanted
God!
that kid. I know you hated that kid just like I did.
Oh,
He's the
God,
best. Be
what a
safe.
what a bitch.
He really is.
But
And that
yeah,
guy's a veteran. He's a veteran. The Travis. He's a veteran.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, the pettiness, of I'm rich, I can do this, and my daddy's in charge. Yeah. But I love the fact that he got his comeuppance. That was awesome. Yeah, when they
Yeah.
were.
There's one scene in the movie when he talks to him. He's like, y'all are sick. He's like, when he's about to have the drink, and he says to him, he's like, but you're out here for handouts. That's exactly what you're here looking for. He's like, I turned my life around. He says, the alcoholic. He says, I turned my life around. He's like, but did you?
Right.
He's like, here you
Yeah. Are you
like,
any better
here you
off
are.
than you were before? Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one hits me. It's like, because I've found myself saying, like, hey, I'm better today. That I guess, we always strive to be better than we were. It's like, I've found myself saying, like, hey, I don't struggle with addiction. I didn't do this. But it's like, am I really any better today? It's like, here I am. It's like, am I happy with where I'm at? I mean, I might be, but like he says, I'd hate to see what you looked like 20 years ago. I'll be honest, I was probably in a better place when I was struggling with addiction than I am now. Sometimes I feel that way. It's like, well, how the hell is that as backwards? But it is. I mean, it's sometimes you feel that way. You get better with one thing, and sometimes other things in life, and you're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, I really enjoyed this one, especially the fact that you're struggling with your morals.
I feel like Tony, if I could pinpoint everyone in this movie, Tony would be like Sasha Grey, where like the guy doesn't even finish his question and Tony stabs someone in the leg. Tony would have a smile on his face doing it. Tell me Basement Blues wouldn't be smiling as he stabs Holland Oates right in the leg. Like,
no, that I really enjoyed that because they were like, Linda, you can either, and she's like, and then she was like, wow, just elbows the old lady in the pose. I was like, oh shit, I probably would have done the same damn thing. Stab me, bitch.
Yeah, that's June Squibb, isn't it, or whatever her name is?
The old lady.
Yeah,
I know I've seen her in something else, but I can't remember what it was. But
Tony's
yeah, I recognized her.
Tony's getting knife happy. They laugh by SF Johnny. Johnny says, Bob wanting to strap me into an electric chair. I thought we were close, Bob. Tony would stab Tom Cruise after first word. Probably. I mean, maybe. So I think it would be interesting though. All jokes aside, I am curious to see how people would feel or how people would
what decisions they would make.
Yeah, the electric chair. If it was us all surrounded,
are you going to shot yourself? Or are you going to shot blah blah over here?
Yeah,
well, I love me.
Tony says he doesn't stab.
He don't stab. He shanks.
So it's interesting. Like, and Tony would do that. He would, if it were me and Tony walked over, he would ask the same question she did. Can I stab Bob anywhere?
Yeah. Below the neck.
That's what Tony would, and she just stabbed right in the stomach.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's
an interesting concept. I thought you might like this one. I'm glad you like this one because I didn't know how it would work for you. But everything, I always look at lists, like my list personally is anything above 3 stars is a successful rating, and it's a successful recommendation. So I look at this like I'm 9 for 10 from you because everything.
No, like I said, I've enjoyed these. Like I said, the only one that I was didn't really hit for me was the first one. So I mean, and I think that's a pretty good indication of
Tom Cruise perked
you
up.
knowing me and kind of what do you say?
Tom Cruise perked up and said, "You can't stab Metal Joe." Tony makes shivs in Shanks or his spare time on his spare time, and Tony says, "Stab, stab, stab." That's probably what he's talking about with me. Hey, Mr. Cruz, Tony with American Me Bob in a heartbeat. Tony loves gore. He does love gore. Yes. But yeah, go ahead and finish your thoughts on Wayne. I'm sorry.
What was it, Sam?
Just a little off track.
What was I saying?
You were you were talking about I don't know.
Shit. I did okay.
No, you were talking
like I wasn't ready for this, but at the beginning of the movie when the main guy, the main rich guy came on screen, I didn't recognize him, but when he spoke, I was like, "Oh my God, I know that voice. I know that voice." And it's going to drive me nuts. I had to pause it and Google because it was driving me crazy. I was like, I know that voice and I can see his face and I know the scene that I want to see him in, and I couldn't do it. I still know what you did last summer.
Yeah, I still know what you did last summer, Reanimator and some other stuff.
Yeah. I haven't seen Reanimator, but it was I remember what you did last summer. His voice. It was just, oh my God. What is it? What is it? But anyway, sorry, that was just a little random. But I just thought that was cool that just the voice. I was like, whoa. Yeah. So, but no, I really enjoyed this one. Kills were great. Struggling with your morals, just I like how good of a person are you? Yeah.
I'll be honest, it's interesting though, talking about the ending. It's easy to sit here and say, what would you do if you were her? The fact that I'm saying it depends is pretty messed up, but a part of me says, oh man, I'm like, I don't know, man. Is somebody like, is it my family on the line? And I've already gone through enough of this crap tonight. I'm probably shooting him too. I don't know him. And then when he starts talking about his three sisters, I'm shooting him before he starts making me guilty.
Oh yeah. Okay, so no, that was another thing. I was like, it's funny how he's never brought up these sisters before, or I mean, you're begging for your life basically, and you want to throw anything out there that you can. And
he was a good guy, though. He seemed like a good out of everybody.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I was rooting. I mean, you're only going to be one. Like Highlander in there, but I liked his character. He was all about trying to keep the group together. Trying to get away, trying to get out, but even somewhat trying to beat a moral compass, like you don't have to do this, or
there's a lot of blue wrenches. There is, because you get a lot of trolls out there. And Bree says you haven't seen Reanimator, Fish.
I know. But here's one thing. Like I told you earlier, I like to watch the credits and the cast and stuff. I'll show it to you. I recorded it, but I was watching it, and I like to know who people are. So when I was reading it, I was like, all right, Brittany Snow, and I was like, okay, that's Travis, and and then wait, and that's Travis. They have Travis on there twice. They have the name. Yeah, they have the name. I was just sitting there. I was like, oh, wait. So I recorded it. But anyways, I didn't know if you noticed that. But yeah, the guy who plays Lucas, the one who slits his eye, they have his name as Travis. And then the guy who plays Travis, they have his name as Travis in the credits.
Sounds like Screen Factory type of mistakes. It was a dumb movie until I saw it. A good flick. Yeah. All right, I'm going to take spoilers off the screen. You want to dive into number 4?
Sure.
Okay, so as I kind of always enjoy asking some people too, like as we get lower, I always ask, are you surprised by any of these? Obviously, I'd be asking myself, am I surprised?
Yeah, are you surprised by any of these?
You know what? You and I trade a lot, so I'm not necessarily surprised by that one. But But the fact that the 2 horror movies on here have not been pulled up yet. Well, I guess there's 3 horror movies on here technically. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that the in a way, I guess in a little bit, not necessarily. I'm really just surprised by your number 1, but go on. Let's see what I'm not disappointed because my number 1 hasn't been pulled yet. So
Nice. Okay. Number 4, Thanksgiving.
all right here. So I did give you this to you, and I wasn't sure. Poor Jeff. He doesn't mind though. I'm just gonna spoil this. I did put a Christmas movie on Jeff's list, and I was like, "Do you mind?" And he's like, "No, Christmas in July. I don't mind." And
Here
you
you
obviously,
go.
I gave you the list after Thanksgiving, but I know that we had finished your watch list before Thanksgiving. But I hadn't even seen this when we did our watch list stream because I was back in October.
Right.
But yeah, obviously you watched it. Will it become a Thanksgiving watch
Oh
every
yeah,
year?
it'll become a staple. It'll be right up there with Home for the Holidays and Dutch.
Dutch is a good one that'll become a staple for me. How many stars did this get? 3.5?
This got 4. I gave it 4.
4.
Yeah,
Nice.
I really enjoyed this one.
You like Eli Roth.
Yeah, man. I like, of course, Thanksgiving. My birthday's a week before, so that has a little bit to, for me as well because there aren't many Thanksgiving movies. So I latch on to ones all that I can.
Tom Cruise says garbage movie. Well, we say, Tom Cruise, you're garbage. I actually like the second one as well, but not as much the first. I really enjoyed Thanksgiving. It's fun, Tom. Hey, Tom. I had fun with it.
No, absolutely. I wasn't ready for it to go the way it did at the beginning and then go the way it did for the rest of the movie, but I really enjoyed that too. I just thought it was going to be somebody just going for free for all. But
For the sequel as well. There's a sequel.
there's a sequel coming.
Yeah,
Okay.
2025 Thanksgiving time.
Okay.
November
Okay.
2025.
Cool. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. Great kills. Kind of kept me on my toes for the most part of like who the John Carter was.
Well, Joe just said I liked it because I never saw the ending coming. Some people did, some people didn't. We definitely won't spoil that because this is a whodunit. So if you are going to talk about that at all, definitely dive into spoilers on the screen. Some movies you just got to sit back and have fun with.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's exactly what I did.
Did you ever see the short that he did? Did you ever see the short that he did like 2 years? It's a 2-minute short, 2.5-minute short that he did about 12 years ago. He did it for the Grindhouse double feature. Did you ever see that short? There's a short of Thanksgiving. So it's like a trailer.
Okay.
It's a trailer for the movie Thanksgiving. And then people were so excited 12 years or whatever amount of years later when it finally got announced. Well, in the trailer, the trampoline scene, which there you go right here, that trampoline scene. In the trampoline scene, she bounces her vagina on the knife. Like, yes, the knife goes, yes. Yeah, it slits her, it goes in her foot. Mizzy was like, that happens in the movie. I was like, no, it doesn't. And then we watched it with my dad when he was out here, and it does not happen in the movie. It in the short, in the trailer, it goes through her vagina.
Oh wow.
Yeah, or at least
like I said, some great deaths. Where am I? Yes.
I try Mizzy. Sometimes they don't click. I'm a harsh critic, though. Yeah, he is.
But yeah,
okay, you want to dive into spoilers? Do you want to dive into spoilers? I could put spoilers.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, if you haven't seen Thanksgiving, this is other. Tony's seen this one either yet. Has Tony seen this one?
But very calm. You know, it started out, everybody's getting ready for Thanksgiving, having dinner and stuff, and then of course it's Black Friday or Gray Thursday, as they call it now. I have issues with that, but anyways, but this isn't too far from some of the stuff that we watched online, in years past, where people have gone ape crazy over waffle irons and stuff like that. But when everything went down and they broke the door down, and that first, I was like, oh God, oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. And I was hoping Gina Gershon was going to be in this movie longer. I haven't seen her in anything in forever, and I was like, oh yay, Gina Gershon, and then nope, bye bitch.
Yeah, no, she's not. She just brings some leftovers, and then you
Right,
obviously see the whole
right.
story going on. But yeah,
But
there's
what I loved about this is like Joe said, like it could have been anybody that was in that store. It could have been anybody. So and the fact that you start eliminating people, you're like, okay, well it's not them, it's not them. But then you also have those red herrings in the background, like the new boyfriend, the old boyfriend, you know. So I had fun this yeah, yeah. Oh, one thing I did write down here, I was like, oh nice. He, he fed the cat before he left.
yes, he did. He fed the cat, and
Like, oh, I'll probably really like that part.
I'm trying to check something really quick on. Okay, no, keep going. I'm just
Oh yeah, no. I like. It's crazy to see. I mean, no, I know this is a horror movie and it's supposed to be out there and over the top, but there were aspects at the beginning of that movie that were so real to life. People being straight up assholes, at that time of year. You know, even what did he say? It's fucking Thanksgiving, for Christ's sake. It's yeah. So I I never got that aspect of consumerism because
I'm
I'm not
sending I'm sending you the trailer so you can watch the
okay. Cool,
trailer.
awesome. I do want to check that out. That's cool. But yeah, I never got that aspect of consumerism because I worked in retail and I'm like, go home, be with your families. What are you doing here?
Here is the poster.
Oh wow. Jeez.
Yeah. So, yeah. I didn't see the trailer for it, that old trailer from Grindhouse, until I watched the movie. And then I watched it after it because I heard it was like a short, it was a trailer, all that stuff. Tiana says her vagina. I haven't. It looks very promising. Talking about Nosferatu. Bob, get off IG. No, it's not. It was YouTube trying to search for the Thanksgiving. Trying to pull it up, but yes, I didn't watch that trailer until afterwards, and then I went back and I watched all of the shorts and all the trailers that were meant for Grindhouse. And there's a couple of them have come to life, like Machete came to life. Yeah, so a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, geez, now that's a visual. Yeah. Jack says someone needs to kiss that and make the boo-boo better. Oh my goodness. So yeah, Machete was one of them. Thanksgiving's another, but there's a couple others, and a couple of them have already gotten movies. And
oh my gosh, okay, just clicked. I just clicked what you were talking about. Sorry, I thought you were meaning like the booth, like the distributor Grindhouse Video. No, you're talking about this.
Yes.
Okay, and because when you said machete, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, they had this trailer and they made it into a movie. Okay. I get what you're. Okay. I still have not seen this.
Yeah. I don't think that'll come with the trailers that they had, the shorts.
Okay.
But
we're on the same page now. Sorry.
Hobo with the Shotgun was another one that they came out with, and Hobo with the Shotgun's fun too. It's got Rutger Hauer in it. I wonder if Tom Cruise
I've seen that actually.
And then there's a couple others, and Tom Cruise might know them better than I do. But there's one or two others that haven't been made into a movie yet that people are still hoping get made into a movie.
Okay.
Note says, yes, Mr. Cruise. I was about to say that one. I need to see it. Yeah, I have that one. Pretty fun. Don't bother, Holland. See, he didn't like it. Of course he didn't.
Yeah, very interesting deaths. I love the deaths in this. I love to see people like get what's coming to them, especially when they're assholes. That's one of my favorite things. I don't know, for some reason I'm like, yeah. So when everybody that was outside of the store started getting their comeuppance, I was living the life. I was on cloud nine. I was like,
you probably were like my dad. My dad, like I said, we watched this with Mizzy. in my apartment, and my dad was when the beginning, the lady, he's like, he's like that. I think he said he had some choice words for her, but he's like, that bitch is gonna get it or whatever.
The
And
waitress.
yeah, the waitress, yeah. But
Yeah, that
this
that
is
was
a
like that
huge
was
this is a huge spoiler, but one of the letterbox reviews, I think somebody I'm friends with, she wrote, and it's a huge spoiler, and you probably shouldn't write this on your letterbox review, but people do it anyways. That's why you should avoid reviews of movies before you watch them. But she wrote, of course, I should have known McDreamy was the killer when he didn't kill the cat. Because he's McDreamy, Grey's Anatomy, you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, that was the review, and I was like, that's a huge spoiler if you've ever
Right.
seen, if you know
No,
who
absolutely. I mean, if you
McDreamy
have
is.
any kind of pop culture knowledge or anything, you know McDreamy. I mean, there's only one
Yeah.
McDreamy. Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that was a huge
Um,
spoiler. I was like, damn, that's terrible to write that on your review. But anyways, I thought it was funny though. I liked Hobo. Tiana says, Werewolf Woman of the yes, SS and Why Don't are the last two trailers. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Why Don't, I think, was the one that doesn't, or
but
Werewolf Woman was one of them. I didn't look appealing to me.
but yeah, the deaths were awesome. I like when they do stuff that you haven't seen before, like with the waitress, where she dives into the dumpster and he just and then the top falls down and just. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit! I was like, oh wow.
Yep.
And then the trampoline, hadn't seen one like that before, so that one was cool. I was like, ooh. But yeah, the worst, like, now
Spins the
has to be,
fire.
yeah, the worst one had to be the stepmom. I,
The
man,
oven.
yeah, yeah.
I love that, and I
Oh,
love
I
that
do
she
too.
like I love that he butters her. He
Based her,
seasons
gets her
her.
ready. He's got his
Seasons
salt and
her.
pepper crackers out.
Oh my
And
god, man, that's great. He used the base.
when he put the
No,
parsley in between her toes, I was like, this mother. Oh,
yes,
jeez. Oh my God. And then when he
yes.
unveils her at
Ellie
at
says that.
dinner
He's
and
gonna
she
be.
looks like a turkey, her legs are all bent up and her arms are like this. I'm like, oh my God. He went all out.
I'm checking because maybe it was Ellie who posted that. Hold on. If you're following Ellie on Letterbox, her. Hold on. Okay, no, it wasn't her. Never mind. Yeah, I don't think it was her. Somebody did write that though, and I thought it was really funny. But yeah, it wasn't Ellie, but she says she enjoyed the scene with the cat. Ellie says with the right there. You
I
see, yeah,
But yeah, no, I love the deaths in this. So like I said, I love when they, because horror's been out for so long. You can only do so much, and surprise people in new ways. But this one, I liked it. I liked it. Yeah. So like I
yeah,
said, it's a 4. It was fun. Um, it's just one of those movies you put on and turn your brain off and have a good time with. It's nothing, you can stress about. You just go in and yeah.
yeah. Tom
But yeah,
Cruise.
like I said, I
Yeah,
like this one. Like this one a lot.
I had a blast with it as well, man. I think the kills are fun. I think it is old school slasher written all over it, which
Oh
is
yeah.
we don't get enough of. So I'm all
Oh no,
for it.
absolutely.
It's pretty violent. There's some good stuff, some glass. There's some knives in the feet. I always mark my reviews as having spoilers if I mention any. It wasn't you. I just know when you mentioned the cat, Ellie, I was like, was it Ellie who wrote that? I mean, it's technically not a spoiler. If you know what I mean, it's not like you said who the killer is. You just, you know what I
Right.
mean. But yeah, it wasn't Ellie though. I wasn't sure who it was, but yes, the cat scene. Yeah, if you're a cat person, everybody likes that. Script is getting worked on now. Optimist. Any news on Top Gun 3? All right. Oh, here we go. We're gonna start talking about Tom Cruise's movies again. All right, number 3. You want to dive into it?
Sure. All right. All right. Top three. Top three. I now this is the part where I'm you said your favorite hasn't been brought up yet, so I'm
Let me
wondering.
be clear. The sports one that is yet to be announced, which is the score that I used for one of your, the post on my story. I'm very surprised that it's this high. So go on though.
Really?
Let's hear
Okay.
your number 3.
Okay.
Is
Number
it
3,
road rage? Is it addiction, or is it sports?
Friday Night Lights.
Okay, number 3, Friday Night Lights.
Uh-huh.
All right. I just showed Mizzy this show recently, the TV series.
That's funny because all I can think of when I hear Friday Night Lights is the TV show. Like anytime I hear Friday Night Lights, I see Kyle Chandler in my head. I don't see Billy Bob Thornton. Of course, I haven't seen this one yet, but I haven't seen the TV show either. But for some reason, I've got Kyle Chandler in my head for
He won an Emmy.
yeah. When I hear Friday Night Lights,
He won an Emmy for that show. And
okay.
a lot of the same Connie Britt's in the show.
Connie Britton, I thought I saw her, and yeah.
And then the other guy who plays Buddy Garrity in this show, he's also in the movie as well. So there's a couple people that made the transition.
Transitioned over. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Peter Berg is Berg's the creator of the show. There's a Friday Night Light podcast out there, and Stacy loves the show too. Make it a blockbuster night. Friday Night Lights is my favorite TV show of all time, and it's not close. The OC, One Tree Hill, none of that holds a candle to Friday Night Lights for me.
Okay,
man, I've watched that show 3. So I love that show to death. And it's so good. It's so much more than just football. The podcast is literally called like More Than Football or something like that. So, yeah, it's misunderstood. That's why I don't want people to understand it's just a football movie. Friday Night Lights is a little bit more the movies.
It's yeah. Remember the Titans is just a football movie. This is I'm just kidding. No, I love Remember the Titans, but this one was like gritty. It felt like real people, life, real situations and problems, and things that not just the players go through, but also the head coach, the pressure and stuff like that that he's under as well. Because Texas football's huge there. It may not be it's huge all over the country, but Texas, I don't know, for some reason that is like top tier, number one. I mean, I live in Oklahoma, so I'm right next door, and we're not any better. We've got high school stadiums that rival college stadiums here, and it's ridiculous. This is probably why this movie got higher up there for me, because I'm very passionate when it comes to school education and stuff like that. And I don't know. I know why schools spend so much money on football programs. It's because it does bring money back into the school, but they don't put it anywhere for the school. It goes back into the athletic department. And that's one of the things I have issues with when it comes to programs like big school programs.
What I like about this movie is that it paints a picture of what these kids, the pressure that are put on these kids.
Oh no, absolutely. That was another thing. Like I said, not just the kids, but the coach, but yes, definitely the kids.
The show's no different. The show probably pinpoints it more what
they have time to
how serious they take it. Like,
oh no, absolutely.
As a coach, you'll get death threats and whatever else if you lose one game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I once again, quotes. You like quotes? There was a quote in here. Let's see. You can be on top of the world, and as soon as you make a mistake, lose, everyone's ready to toss you aside.
I remember that because I just rewatched this one as well. I love the score too. It's called Your Hands in Mine is the score. It's like 9 minutes long, man. I will listen to that when I'm working out. Like I love that score.
Like I said earlier, I usually focus on what's going on in front of me visually, and then if I rewatch it, the music kind of comes in a little bit more for me on other watches. But this one is definitely rewatchable for me. Very, very intense in some areas. Like you said, the pressure that the players are under, not even from coaches, but the town, some parents. Oh my God, Tim McGraw. I love Tim McGraw, but not in this. Billingsley.
Yeah.
But he's like the pressure of he was an all-star athlete. Like trying to live up to your dad. and then his expectations and stuff like that, and you know, and then also the pressure of your top dog, and you've got all these colleges coming after you, and you're and one thing can change your life just like that. And yeah,
Oh yeah,
that was sad. That was sad when that happened. I felt for him. I truly did. And the fact that he had put him.
yeah, he's good. Derek Luke's good. I really like Derek Luke. He hasn't been in enough movies. Underrated actor, but he sells that scene where he's like, "Ball, football is all I know. It's just football," and he's
And the
crying and
car.
is
Oh my
just
God. Yeah.
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 He's like, "It's all I know. I just want to play. I just want to play. I just want to play." Yeah, it's good
Oh
acting.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, Derek Luke's really good. Lucas Black is in this. The guy from he's in the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. If you recognize him.
That's what I haven't seen.
Yeah, so he's in that. You got a really good cast. You got Jay Hernandez in this movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Garrett Hedlund, if that's how you pronounce it, the guy from Death Sentence and Four Brothers as well. Billy Bob Thornton is in this. It's a really good cast. A lot of
No,
great,
fantastic cast.
yeah.
Fantastic cast. These young actors were awesome as well. I really haven't seen Jake Hernandez in a whole lot, but I that was the one name and face besides Billy Bob that I and Connie Britton that I
Yeah.
knew.
How about that scene at the end with the damn referees need their eyes checked?
Oh my God! See that? Yeah, you can do that all the time. Man, some of those hits.
Yeah.
Those boys were big.
Yeah, they were big. They were big old
Oh my
boys.
God! I wrote that down here. Hold on.
He even says that in
Championship.
them
Okay.
boys.
Spoilers, probably. I don't know if you would, but
Yeah.
those are
Give me a second.
Oh,
Spoilers.
you're good.
Yeah, go ahead. Dive
I
into
was
spoilers.
like, championship game. Those are not high school players. I swear, some of them are older than me. Yeah.
Hey boys, them boys were big. They were big. They were big
I
boys.
was like, no way, those are high school. No, he is 40. He is 48, 50. No,
How
but
many stars did you give this? Did you give this 4, 4.5?
I gave this 4.
Okay, all right. Let it back, Rosie Alley. Okay, let's see.
But yeah, when I don't know, for some reason, because they had so much about Booby Miles at the beginning, where he's all like that's the one I was like top tier, number one, the dog, the one that the whole team surrounded, they made plays for him, around him and everything. And like I said, one thing can destroy that, can change it, and that I don't know, for some reason I felt an injury coming.
Yeah, the guy says to him as well, the doctor, he's like, "Hey, I want what's best for you," and he's like, "No, you don't. You're just trying to take my career away from me." But now correct me if I'm wrong. That doctor tells him it sounded like from the beginning his injury could have been career threatening.
Oh no, most definitely. So even they first got that first, they did it in the locker room, and he was like, "I don't want to say it's a tear, but it, because we haven't done any, there's no X-rays or blah blah blah, but I want him to get looked at." And then anytime there's a knee something, so like one of my best friends, her daughter just was released from her doctor to start playing volleyball again because she tore her ACL. So I know that can be career ending, or even, right? Yeah. But the fact that he didn't want to listen, and he just wanted to get back out there and rush it. And I get it. Your whole future and your life's on the line, not just you, but your uncle, because he's, invested so much of his time into raising you and to being there for you, and you want to be there for him. And it just, it's a lot of pressure to put on, a 16, 17-year-old, child still. and
Yeah, it is.
for
And
them
Derek
to
Luke,
be making adult decisions.
he looks like a grown man in that movie. Derek Luke, the actor who plays that. There's some people talking about Friday Night Lights, so I did want to get into the chat here. Tom Cruise says so accurate of my high school football experience as far as Friday Night Lights goes. Adam says it's a good one. Caprice, I just recently saw this movie as well. Joe says Friday Night Lights, so good, own TV show, but need to see it. Yeah, you do need to watch it. Love the movie and the show. I knew there was a reason Nikki was awesome, right? Peter Berg makes very good films, Tom Cruise says. You should watch it, Joe. Friday Night Lights, the show was great, Matt. Bob, pick for me. It's for my watch list later. Hobo with Shotgun, a Toxic Avenger. Hobo with the Shotgun. Any given Sunday, the program, Friday Night Lights, Unnecessary Roughness, all fantastic. I couldn't agree more with that comment. The program is one of the most underrated football films ever. The program's so good. And I might want to watch that tonight. I think I have it on DVD right.
Yeah, I've got my copy right over there too.
I might watch that tonight. Hi, Bob. I just got an ad for Daddy-O on Letterboxd. Nice. Yeah, I'm going to see that Thursday. And
is that the
yeah, people.
Sean Penn?
Yeah, people laugh and they're like, seriously, a movie like Daddy-O where it takes place in a taxi the entire movie. I'm not joking when I say that's my most anticipated movie of the year. I haven't been this excited for a movie in ages. Does Dakota Johnson help? Yeah, sure. But honestly, like, I just enjoy dialogue heavy movies when it's dialogue you can relate to. And I like emotional stuff. And I feel like that movie is going to be every bit. I seriously hope that movie is I hope it destroys me in the best possible way. Seymour Hoffman, who's your favorite adversary from the Mission Impossible franchise? Tom, Letterboxd knows you, Ellie. Explosions in the Sky did excellent work on the score. Couldn't agree more, Tom. Of freaking course, Davian Overlane. Apparently so, Mizzy. I work out to it all the time. Hell yeah, man. Bob, question is, being Ninja Warrior part of your workouts, the obstacle thing, yeah, I incorporated in. I've gotten away from running obstacle course races. I haven't done them in 2 years, but would love to get back to it. It's crazy how one thing can change your whole life. That's for sure. Absolutely. We talked about it earlier with Waves. Jay Hernandez in Hostel and Crazy Beautiful. So good. I've seen both. I really like Hostel. Hostel 2's beginning did him pretty dirty though. I can't grab my pen. Did you have anything else you want to say, or did you want to move on? We're almost 3 hours in.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, it was just little notes about like throughout the movie. But yeah, that main thing was like pressure, not from just yourself, your coaches, but you got a whole town, especially when it's a small town. You got a whole town, riding you or expecting things from you, and then to not deliver, they'll turn their back on you in a heartbeat. And then everybody thinks they can do your job better than you can. Always, no matter what you do. I'm sure people are out there in the world that think they're sitting at a table and they can wait my tables better than me. It's like there's always that one jackass, that armchair quarterback.
That's for sure. They call them armchair managers for a reason.
Yeah, armchair coaches. Armchair coaches is what I put down right here. But yeah.
I took that off the screen. Spoilers. I'm going to catch up with the chat here really quick. Like I said, we're almost 3 hours.
I know. Yeah, we got to.
Tiana says, "Big boys, love it. $13.99 super chat. Thank you, Tiana. Appreciate it. Booby is related to Von Miller. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome." Miller. Dakota Johnson's newest film, Taxi Cab Confessions, is Sean Penn. Taxi Cab Confessions, late night HBO. Good times. The chat isn't complete without Dakota Johnson being mentioned by Johnny. Sure. Thank you for the super chat, Tiana. I appreciate it. Do you want to move on to number 2?
Sure.
That one, yeah. All right. Well, there's only 2 options. And your number 1 still hasn't been mentioned, so we'll see. But
it's funny because I used to watch Taxi Cab Confessions on HBO late night.
Well, I used to drive for Uber, and one of my mom's friends is like, "You should write a book about all your experiences driving." seriously, it's some of the. I had some disgusting stories for people. I mean,
I'll
just
bet. I'll bet. I'll bet. I don't even. You might as well burn your back seat.
I have a new car, thank God, and I don't do Uber driving for Uber people in the car anymore, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it was disgusting. Um, but yeah, anyways, number 2, what is it?
Number 2, Unhinged.
All right, so number 1 is that one. Okay, all right, so we have the same number 1, my friend.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
All right, Unhinged, Russell Crowe, fat Russell Crowe.
Man, I was not ready for this. I was not
No,
ready for this.
he is a big boy in this movie. He
well,
is a
not even
big
that, but
boy.
the intensity, the of him. I'm used to seeing him kind of be brooding or whatever, Gladiator, stuff like that. But just or even like Love and Thunder, where he's just complete opposite, where he's just so over the top and out there. But this, I was not ready for this Russell Crowe, but I was here for it, obviously.
So you know what I liked most in I was telling Adam. Now Adam watches some pretty messed up shit, okay? Like just
Yeah,
some stupid shit. All right, let's be clear. Adam, I love you, but you watch some terrible movies, B movies, like Gutter Balls, for example, okay? That's better than some of the other trash out there. And I used to be into that stuff. I used to watch a lot of that trash, but now I was telling Adam this recently. I was like, dude, I don't even watch that stuff anymore because I can't stand just watching people get like gutted just for the sake of getting gutted. I don't like mean-spirited, violent movies where it point or I like watching people fight back. That's what I like to watch. And I feel like a lot of times they don't. So, but what I really actually enjoyed, which sounds funny saying that, I actually enjoyed how mean-spirited Would You Rather and Unhinged are. They are not friendly at all. They
no,
are they're very mean-spirited. They are brutal and in your face for the most part. And I actually that's what I like most is that they don't hold back. It's rated R for a reason.
right, right. I don't know if like anybody else knows about what this movie's about, but when I found out what this movie was about, I was like, yes, we're here. Yes, I knew we were here. Because you and I, we have had our conversations, numerous, many, many conversations about this topic. So many. And where we lie on this
On the road.
while we're
On the road.
driving.
And Missy's waiting for me to do Unhinged, go Russell Crowe on somebody one day.
You know what? There were a couple of times where I thought you may. But,
There's a decent chance that my dad always tells me, like, I'm more than likely going to die on the road one day because of my anger. There's just so many stupid fucking drivers, Fish.
preaching to the
So
choir.
many
Preaching to the
just
choir.
don't get off. I'm telling you, bro. I feel like there is a social media group for terrible drivers, and they're like, on Wednesday, this is our day. We're all gonna go out and drive. Like, I'm telling you, bro. There are times where I'm just like, what? There must have been a group meetup or something where they were like, today's our day. We pick one day out of the week where we're gonna get all the terrible drivers on the road. There are times like that, and I know this guy. That's not necessarily the same thing here. He was actually in the wrong. He's sitting at a fucking green light. You know what I mean? Like, go.
Right, right. And that's one of the things that I've had that happen to me. You're like, I'm so pissed off. So like I mean, like laying on the horn, and I finally go around them like she did, and yeah. But like, you're right, idiots, morons, and like I've said this before. I'm like, how? Okay, so you were a good driver that one day. That one day you took your test, you were a good driver, and then now you can be a driver for the rest of your life.
And he's not like a bad driver per se. He's just sitting at a
No, no,
stop.
no, no, no. But
He
that's
gets
what,
pissed
but
off,
you know, but yeah,
but the concept is idiot like road raging, and
right.
road rage
Or,
is bad. And I've never had that.
or the fact that you don't know what's going on in anybody else's life. You don't know what everybody else is going through, and you could be that catalyst to set them off all of a sudden.
Well, she does that. But there are just, man, I do. I'm not gonna lie. I have a short fuse when it comes to being on the road. I really do, and a couple people have heard it in voice messages or whatever. But there are just a lot of fucking idiots on the road, man. Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
man, you know
yeah.
what really gets me is when you're sitting at a red light and people who do this get off the road because you shouldn't have a driver's license. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, okay? But dead serious. If you're scared, you should not have a driver's license. That's the thing. If you are a scared driver, if you are paranoid, get off the road, okay? But if there is no sign that says no turn on red, make your right turn. If there is zero traffic and nobody's coming,
We're just sitting there with
go.
the blinker on, just
Go.
huddled off to the side, ready to go.
No turn on red. Make your right turn, dumbass. Seriously, like there's no reason for it. If you are that scared and you cannot make a right turn on red with no cars coming, if that's your reason, get off the road, okay? But the
Right.
rules of the road say you can make a right turn. You got to yield. You got to make a complete stop before you can make your right turn, okay? I get it. Make your complete stop, but you shouldn't sit there for 30 seconds and not go when there's
Right, nobody's coming.
People got put
right.
Okay, I ain't got time for your stupid ass being on the road. Make your right turn.
But yeah, I wrote
Also,
on here.
drives me crazy. People can't park. You gotta
You and
yellow
I talk
line
about
getting
this.
the damn
You and I talk about this one a
park.
lot.
I've taken pictures and sent them to you. Like, can you be so stupid? I will wait. I will go and I'll write a letter on your note, a note on your car. Like, I don't give a shit, bro. People need to learn how to drive. It's not hard to park. Okay, I back in. Okay, all the time. It should be easier to pull your damn car in. Like, you're stupid, man. Oh
I was
my
gonna
gosh.
say, and even
Very
with cars anymore nowadays, they all have backup cameras. Most of them now. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
what's the deal? Like,
I started backing into spots. My mom always did it. I picked up on it. I always back in. Busy's like, you always back in everywhere you go. I'm like, yes. And there's a reason why. I pulled into a spot the other day and I was backing out of it. And some guy almost backed into me. And I was like, this is why I pull in or back into
like
every
I can
spot.
see everything in front of me. Yeah.
Just pull right out. I was like, it's because idiots out there who don't pay attention. Look behind you. Gosh.
Oh yeah. Just start backing up without even like looking over your shoulder. Yeah.
When you're a terrible driver and you're nervous or paranoid or you're not a good driver, you are risking other lives. You are driving a very dangerous vehicle. These things are heavy. These things are dangerous, and you're driving at fast speeds. And so when you're not a good driver or you're scared behind a wheel or you don't look to your left and right, things like that, you are putting other drivers at risk. I can't tell you how many times I just see people making mistakes, not even in front of me. I see it in a different lane or I'm looking and I'm like, is this person going to pull out? You have to
absolutely.
To driver and pay attention to other people because people don't even look, bro. They just pull out. Fucking idiots out there, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this one is way high up here because you and I have not a passion for this subject, but we vent it to each other so much that this really hits home in some aspects. On both sides, actually, the frustration on her side where he's sitting there, but then also his not going that extreme, but when somebody's like I don't know, like calling you
I've gotten extreme before. I have not to that level, but there's been
like flipping people off. I mean, I did it yesterday. It's like you mother.
There's been some circumstances, and I think what's funny though is I appreciate people who own it. And if I cut somebody off or I did something wrong, because I'm not a perfect driver, we all make mistakes in the moment. I tap my shoulder, I'll go like this. Or if they flick me off, I get pissed. But if you are sitting there or honk at me, I'm like, you know what? I'll own it. I know I did wrong.
I was like, oh shit, sorry.
I did wrong. I own that. I apologize. And he does, and she refuses to acknowledge his apology or apologize back.
What was it? I don't get a courtesy tap.
Here's what a courtesy tap is.
Yeah, a little boop, boop. Yeah, and I mean, I get his side of that. You're like, hey, sorry, I got distracted. Just give me a little boop boop, and I'm like, oh, that'll wake me up and go on my way. But she laid on that horn as soon as
well, his light was 5 seconds.
Literally, I've been sitting there for a while, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like
I don't like when people lay on their horn after a half a second being like. But what's funny is he's like, well, you about to find out what a real bad day is.
exactly. Did I write that down
You about
somewhere?
to find out real quick what a bad day feels like.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're gonna fucking learn. Yeah, that's what I wrote down. I was like, you're gonna fucking learn. Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what I loved about this movie is okay. So the beginning started out very kind of not gentle, but not as intense because he's just chilling in the car, you know. So I was like, okay, and then he lights that match and then just lets it go down to his fingers. I was like, this motherfucker's psycho. He's crazy. What are we about to get into? Because at this point, I still didn't know what this movie was about because I didn't watch a trailer. I didn't read because it's another one that I bought, but I didn't read the back or anything. I had no idea. All I know is Russell Crowe is unhinged, and when that match goes down to his fingers, I was like, this motherfucker is crazy. So yeah, I was like, all right, buckle up. Here we go. I was literally buckle up. Road rage. But yeah, but from the time they met, it was intense. It was tension. This is one where the music, because I kind of went back because I didn't have notes. This is the one that I didn't write notes for when I initially watched it. This is the very first one that I watched. So I went back and put it on and had my notebook. So I started writing notes. But this is one where the music came in to me a lot more that I watched the second time. I was like, oh man, that music is very tense. It's very, but yeah,
I felt bad for the guy in the gas station.
Yeah, I wrote that right here too. It's like, man, the gas station, the lawyer,
The cop,
the
semi truck. Oof.
the girlfriend.
Oh man, the girlfriend's that's tough.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Uncle Fred was gonna live.
This is what I wrote down. This is the very last thing I wrote. It was an awesome game of cat and mouse. I love movies like that where it's chase and be chased, or like turn the tables and stuff like that. I love movies like that. That's why this one was really.
I really liked the actress too. She was cool. I don't
That's
know.
What I said. That's what I said. What's that? Karen Pistorius. Yeah, Rachel. I said she was great.
Too. She's pretty, but not like a bombshell. Not, you know what I mean? Like nobody would sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'd pick her out of it, whatever. But I just really liked her. I liked her fight too when she was like, I'm real wide awake now, or I'm listening now, and she throws the phone. I like that too.
Yeah. I mean, it was like the performance was fantastic. The fear and like everything like she portrayed was awesome. And then, like I said, you turn the tables, and you got a little, have them on their tiptoes or on their.
I don't want to spoil the ending, but how about that eye, the glass?
Yeah,
the
the last line. I wrote it down because because I thought it was amazing. I just thought it was so good. Just yeah.
What did she say in that scene? It's not like a huge spoiler, but it's
that's what I wrote down. I wrote her quote down, and so I was like, yeah.
All right, just a brief. I'm gonna put spoilers on just for a second because I want to move on. But go ahead. What does she say? Because I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, she's like, "Here's your fucking courtesy tap."
Yes.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I took spoilers off, but yes. Remember that. Yeah.
No, so I really enjoyed this one. Not for, for the simple fact that you and I talk about this subject matter quite a bit. We did, and So like I said, this one, like I said, it was the first one I watched. I didn't have notes for it, but it stuck with me, and I put this back on and just kind of skimmed through the movie, kind of highlight some stuff, and then just wrote down, everything that kind of popped back into up for me again. But yeah, this movie was great, intense. Tension was great. Music.
What'd you give it?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 4.0.
So
gotcha.
yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I saw Freaky was the first movie I saw after the pandemic. but this was the second movie I saw. I think Freaky was the first I saw out of the theater, like after the theaters were locked down. But this was one of the first I saw with my buddy in theaters, and my buddy's big into like stalker type of movies, so he just likes how crazy he is. I'm gonna catch up with the chat.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's like I don't like stalkers in my comedies, but I like them in my horror. Right? Yeah.
Wait, what is this garbage? Why is it number 2? Tom Cruise says Unhinged. Interesting. Unhinged is fantastic, Joe says. Russell Crowe is an absolute maniac. Ooh, that's a good movie, Tiana says. Adam saying don't hate. What Gutterballs is great, Bob. No, it's not. I love Adam's B movies. Correct, Joe. Thanks, Tiana. Hot take, brutally honest there. I like it very much. So the thing with Adam, though, is when he gave me movies as a list, he gave me real like movies. He didn't give me any horror movies to watch.
Right. That's what I loved about his list too. I was expecting boobies and
so was Joe. And there wasn't one boob on his list. I think Tony probably gave me more nudity than Adam did. I don't know. Tony's in the chat right now. Like, not one of my movies had boobs. I don't know. Maybe.
Bob showed me. Yeah, no. When I saw Far and Away pop up on his list, I was like, whoa.
Road rage is real. Russell Crowe was fighting around the world. Now he's fighting on the freeway. Damn you, road rage, BBK. I don't know what BBK means. I know what BBC means, but I don't know what.
Beautiful boobs count.
Oh, yeah, no, that I don't know what. See, I don't understand abbreviations, man. The only one I know is LOL. Bob Road Rage used to be one of my favorite things. Familiar with it. Yeah, Tiana, how do you guys road rage up in Canada? Tom, the same as Bob does. You guys just roll down your windows and throw poutine. Wait, Bob has road rage? LOAO. Ms. Bob has left me messages where he's cussing people out while driving. Bad drivers make me crazy too. I feel like Ellie's probably gotten voice messages like that as well. Certain people don't know about those voice messages. Yep. Or certain people do know. I think everyone gets them voice messages. Tony gets the shakes when I'm on the phone with him while driving. Reckless. He's shaking with anger, Tom. I sat at a green light and got honked on. I flipped them off, and the next light guy jumped out and tried to open my door and stab me with a screwdriver. I jumped sidewalk and took off. Never flip off another person again. You do learn your lesson. You can't.
Right. Yeah, but that's what I was.
She's like, no.
When she's about to honk the horn. Yeah.
Just a suggestion, Bob. What grinds Bob gear? You got Bob's gears. Let's see here. Tom Cruise says nothing is worse than New York. Half of them are illegal with no DL. Driver's license. They get in car accidents and run out of the car. It gets wild. I love this. Oh my gosh, I used to take photos of horribly parked cars too. You got to send them to your friends. It's just how big of idiots people are. Yeah, I try to curse as much as possible when I speak with him because it makes him uncomfortable. And most people too, they seem to park worse when there's spots. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Warning, DUI. Joe, do you have a stable face so I can't really blame him? You have a stabbable face. Tom Cruise. He's just, dude, Tom Cruise, damn. I'm picturing Tim berating Tony for his multiple copy purchases where he can easily watch them on streaming sites. Buckle Bob turning right, so get out of the way. Adam, Bob live it into a 2TO. I'm picturing Tom berating Tony. I already read that. Tom Cruise says, haha, Johnny, you couldn't be more right. Like when he picked up 5 copies of Madam Web, even threatened to call Sonia. This chat is more entertaining than the movie was. The chat is fucking insane right now. Evening all. Tom Cruise, laugh out loud. Hello, Chris. Slasher Man, how we doing? We got Chris C, the Slasher Man, in the chat saying evening all. Let's see here. Good. I hope everyone is okay across the country. Heard storms are ranging in some parts. First movie I saw in theaters after they reopened in 2020. Me too, Ms. Hey, Chris. Hey, Oates. Miss Nice Tiana. Hey, Chris. You know if you watch Gutterball, oh my gosh, Bowling Bag Killer. Oh, I watched it all. I watched it. I showed Mizzy the part with the transvestite getting dick cut off, Adam, which was sight to behold.
That's the one you showed me and Missy one night.
I think it probably is. I show everybody. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And I bet Tom Cruise and Adam love it. And so does Joe. Fucking gutter balls. Oh my gosh. You know who recommended a Serbian film to me? It's Caprice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she watched it. She's seen it like 9 times. Yeah. No, I'm not joking. Now it's funny because I was talking to her. I was watching Martyrs, and I messaged her and I was like, "Hey, I'm struggling to get through Martyrs. It's a pretty tough watch." I was like, "The ending is getting to me." And she's like, "Don't worry, it gets worse." And I was like, "Oh, okay." The bowling pin scene, never heard of it. Tom Cruise would balls trash.
Yeah. You guys were. I mean, I remember you talking about we're gonna do a triple feature.
Yeah,
Serbian
so
film, Martyrs, and
we started with Martyrs, watched Raw, and then did a Serbian film.
okay.
I know he wants to do another one. I'm thinking of putting like August Underground on there. I've never seen that one. I've heard things about that. And there's a couple other ideas, maybe Inside. Maybe
So yeah, I remember you talking about that. So I went ahead, I found it at vintage stock, so I grabbed this copy, and I still haven't watched it because after you said what you said about your triple feature, I was like, oh, do I even want to open this?
There's some Serbian films. The thing with the Serbian film to me, and I know some people think it's a really good movie, and I'm not here to bash them for it. And some people could disagree with me, but I feel like some movies like a Serbian film are just vile for the sake of being vile. There's nothing to it. Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, where's the scene with the son is just, it's disgusting. What? It's nasty. It's just.
Do you feel like it's just like shock value, or?
It really feels like it. In what movie do you rape your own son? Like, it's just, there's just no. Like, I'm not interested in watching that. It's gross. It's gross.
Right. No, I get what you're saying.
And it's not even just that. There's other scenes. Like Martyrs is, it's violent, but it's in a way, Martyrs is almost like it's beautifully shot, and Martyrs is so good, but it's also violent, but it's done so well. People call Martyrs a masterpiece. It's really well made, and it's not at all just it's for the sake of just being violent. Martyrs is a really well made movie. The Serbian film just feels disgusting for the sake of being disgusting, and that's what I don't like. When I was a kid, it's funny because when I wanted all the heads getting chopped off, titties getting cut off,
right,
dicks getting cut off at 11 or 12. I thought that was the coolest thing. But now I'm older and I was like Cannibal Holocaust is a good movie. I'm all up for that. It's a great movie. Cannibal Ferox, I'm not a big fan of the follow-up, or I guess if it's not even a follow-up. I didn't like that one. So some movies just feel vile for the sake of being vile. Right. Some aren't. Like Unhinged has a point to it, not that it's even vile, but there's like it's mean-spirited, but it's
right.
Point. But yeah, everybody has, some people are interested in that. Some people don't agree with it.
That's kind of how I felt this Saw franchise started to go.
The first one's really well made.
Absolutely. I love the first one. It's my favorite. Actually, part 2 is my favorite. But yeah,
I don't disagree with that. And the funny thing is, your number one is going to flip the script on our conversation on its damn. Like it is a very heavy subject, and it was something we've already discussed. But it's obviously your number one for a reason. Let me catch up with the chat here. Yeah. Inside is just as good, better. But Salo on there instead, Bob. Totally a Bob movie. See, I would hate Salo. My buddy Chris, though, wants to do Salo. He wants to put that on there, so we might have to. But I'm like, oh, bro, I don't know. I do too, Adam. Come on, Fish. It's not that bad. Got to check out some Serbian films. Thanks, a girl Caprice. Dead Don't Die in Dallas has a good trans dick cutting scene and step on it with a high heel. Nope. I hope Tony is still muted. You'll never be the same, Mizzy. Serbian film is a good film and it's art. Oh my gosh. Damn right, Joe. I'm hoping, Adam, that's just wrong. Martyrs is a great film about death and afterlife. Martyrs is a tough watch for me. Irreversible is the most disturbing film I've seen. The fire extinguisher scene, oof. I think Irreversible has the most difficult and most intense rape scene I've ever seen put on film.
Is that the one that lasts like 20 minutes?
The funny thing about Fish is out here. He hasn't seen any of these movies, so he's like, I don't know the fucked up minds that you go through. You guys, like you and Sam or whatever.
But see, that's the thing is, like, I haven't been exposed to these movies. I haven't watched them,
Right.
so I don't know how I'll take them. But I may fall head over heels and be like, oh my god, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
Irreversible is an incredibly well-made film. Irreversible is really good. It's Gaspar Noé. So if you know anything about Gaspar Noé, whatever, he also did Climax. That's a movie. Oh, Climax! I gotta put some of these movies on some people's list. Maybe a Serbian film, Climax, out there. Irreversible. Oof. But there's a scene. It's like I think it's about 4 or 5 minutes long. It's one take. It's one shot. The camera doesn't cut. He places the camera on the floor, from what I remember.
Okay, this is the one I've heard you guys talk about before. Yeah.
And it's like an extreme close-up, and the camera doesn't move for like 4 or 5 minutes, and we just watch her get raped from behind. And then he picks up the camera and like moves it, and so it's still one take if I remember correctly. I haven't seen it in a while, and we just watched the absolute shit get beaten out of her like afterwards. It's Irreversible. It's a tough watch too, but it's also another one that to me is really well done. But you got to know what you're going into for a Gaspar Noé film. Like, don't just watch a Gaspar Noé film for watching. Okay. You better know what you're getting into. Yes, Joe. Some directors are like that. You got to know what you're getting yourself into. Added to the watch list, Tom. It's a rough one. I agree. Salo, more just sexual torture, so totally works for the tube. Also, this same guy recommended a movie called Gestapo's Last Orgy to me, which I bought and have back there, but I've never seen it. Yes, very uncomfortable. That scene in Irreversible still haunts me. Fire extinguisher scene, Johnny. Shot back to front version is the only way to watch it. Yeah. Well, you shouldn't watch it any other way. The movie's shot in reverse, so we're watching.
Oh, okay.
Ending first. The ending is everything's in reverse. It's really interesting. Yes, Bob, you are correct. Went away for a couple hours and came back to see you guys still at it. Yeah. Got off topic and stuff. I was like, oh, Monica Bellucci, she's hot. Let's watch this. Such a mistake. Want to say the terminal scene. I'm not watching Gestapo's Last Orgy tonight. To me, the Jack Ketchup girl next door, only find that bothered me. Almost as bad as taking mushrooms in college and watching Requiem for a Dream ruined my life. Very nice dinner. Oh my gosh. Very nice dinner scene. Yeah, there's conversation in here has gone off the rails. I lived with Joe, practically no horror before I met him. Climax, check. Serbian film, check. Salo, check. Corrupted for life, check. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, pretty much. All right, you want to dive into number one?
Sure. Yeah. 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 I do. Oh.
I guess I could put it on screen. It's a heartbreaker, huh?
Oh God. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's when I say heavy, I usually like addiction movies, especially when they're well done or like, we got number one, A Good Person.
A Good Person. Oh man. Oh my God.
Robbed of an Oscar nomination, in my opinion, for this one. If there's any
Florence Pugh, most definitely,
been nominated for that.
Man, I know Ken cannot stand her, but I have seen very little with her in it. The only things I've seen are Midsommar and Black Widow. I've seen nothing else Florence Pugh. So I went into this with an open mind. And then, man, she's blew me away.
Well, Johnny says A Good Person, which Tiana is not. Poo-poo. A Good Person is awesome. I'm Morgan Freeman, Holland Oates says. I sometimes send YouTube clips from the film Johnny to friends and don't mind watching. Okay. It's true. Watch Scooby-Doo for a week. All right. A Good Person. Yeah, I think I seriously I've never seen Florence Pugh do anything better. Not Midsommar, not Fighting with My Family. She's good in a lot. She's top 5 for me, man.
Man, after this, she's up there. I want to see more. But like I said, I haven't seen Oppenheimer. I haven't seen Fighting with My Family. I really know very little about her filmography. But man, she killed
This
it
is
for me in this. Morgan Freeman was fantastic.
this is the only one I took notes on because I don't really take notes. Literally, here's my list. It's not much. It's one note for this movie. That's it.
You would think Friday Night Lights would be the one that would be my number one for all the notes I took on it, but there were so many things in that movie that kind of poked at me. But this one is my favorite. It's a 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah.
4.5 or 4.5 or 4.
4.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Fantastic by everybody. The fiance, the granddaughter, Morgan Freeman. I just everybody was spot on in this. I really really enjoyed this one. You know, I wasn't sure what this was going to be about. I kind of knew the premise at the beginning, but I didn't know it was going to go the way it did.
Can I say something really quick? Because you mentioned the granddaughter. So the granddaughter was in Freaky, and she was also in Madam Web. She's one of the girls in Madam Web. Now, granted,
Okay.
Madam Web had some really bad writing, so I thought the characters weren't that awful. That were in that were awful. I don't like Celeste O'Connor, who plays the granddaughter and a good person. There's something about her I don't like. I hated her in Madam Web. I mean, granted, it was Madam Web, but I didn't. Yeah, I don't know what it is about her so far. She didn't sell me in a good person. She's easily my least favorite character. I don't know. There's something about her, but she went through a lot. The movie, obviously, there's a lot to discuss. Do you want it? When you want to talk spoilers, just let me know and I'll put spoilers on the screen because.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, so I like I said, once again, I looked into these and not at all. So I didn't know Zach Braff directed this. I was like, what? So yeah, I was like, all right, I see you. I see you, Zach Braff. Because I don't think I've seen a whole lot.
I think they were still dating at this time, but they might have been broken up at this time too, or they broke up like right after this movie, I believe. But yeah, no, they were still dating at this time. But Zach Braff actually has some decent movies on his filmography. Not a lot, but yeah, he's actually got some. But yeah, Zach Braff, very good in this one.
Yeah, fantastic. Kudos, because I really really enjoyed this one. Yeah, so I mean, if you wanna talk, then
yeah. So I'll put spoilers up. I feel like we talked so much on 4 Good Days already, as it was, but the quote I wrote down.
This one to me is a little different.
It is different. I mean, for one, it's dealing with a different drug because she's into opioids in this, painkillers, and I'll talk about it more in a second. The one thing I wrote down was a quote. Would you like to stay for dinner? He asks after she just finds out that she's the one who basically killed her mother. And she said, I wrote down that might have saved her life because, you talk about triggers and things that are, she just blamed, and she doesn't know what she's doing. She's angry, in that moment.
Right.
Like, he tells her, like, you're the one who killed my mother. Hearing that could make you want to kill yourself or go to relapse. You know what I mean?
Right.
And obviously she does at one point in the movie, and I don't think it was that scene because she ends up staying for dinner. But yeah, that's it. I just thought about that in that moment when I was watching it. I was like, that really saved her life. But the last half hour of this movie just really, it's really emotional, man. Really tough. Like really just, yeah, it really is. And it's just heartbreaking, man.
Especially okay. So yeah, we were talking about 4 Good Days. So her addiction came around from an injury. Well, I mean, this one was too. It's like this sports injury. That's like This one, after she got well and didn't need it for her pain, she used it to, yeah, um, because of guilt. That's what I'm saying. It's like that one was like a sports injury, and she just, used it, used it. This one, she's covering up the guilt that she felt for what she had done, by using. I mean, but not that.
So, to speaking about injuries and using, I got caught up in painkillers. Vicodin. I got hurt. Was prescribed medication, and I had never taken painkillers like that in my life, and I was going through some crap, and I remember just really enjoying that, taking more than one and feeling numb.
Yeah.
And just kind of takes away the pain. I wasn't snorting it or anything like that. I never tried that. But I was definitely taking more pills, and it wasn't, I got the free refill. I didn't need it. The pain was gone, but I just enjoyed the feeling of making me feel numb. And I ended up going to my dentist not too long ago. This was a couple of years ago, probably. And I'm very close with my dentist. And I was prescribed. He's like, I'm going to give you some Vicodin for the pain. And I was like, I told him, I was like, I can't take painkillers like that. And he was like, why? I was like, I got addicted. I was like, I got addicted. I just don't want to I'll take ibuprofen, but I can't take Vicodin again. I was like, I'm not taking that chance. So I won't take Vicodin anymore. I probably couldn't, but I don't have a reason to. I wouldn't want to test it. Ibuprofen's just fine. I'd rather just deal with it because it does that numbness makes you feel I mean I got caught up in that. That's why I got to be careful, because I know I have an addictive personality, and I'm the kind of person, I don't dip my toes in the water. I'm a full all the way in. Like if I do something, don't ask me to do something and then ask me to half-ass it. Like I'm either going to do it to the best of my ability or not do it at all. I don't like starting something and not finishing it. And I know that I have the capability of getting addicted when I start working sometimes, and I could just pour my life into work and say F everyone else and everything else. So I get very addicted to things very easily.
So, but yeah, that's one of the things that I wrote down. Using substances to kill your emotional pain. It's not even physical anymore. At that time, it's emotional, and you just don't want to deal with it or the world, or yeah. So I've been there myself. So, but yeah, this movie started out so happy, and I love that didn't get to see a whole lot of it, but you kind of felt that relationship that she had with her fiance. You felt that happiness and the love and stuff at the beginning, and then just it all goes south, and then all of a sudden you're 1 year later, and it was.
I think Ken seen a good person. I'm telling you, he did. I feel like he did. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see his review.
I hope he does. I hope he checks it out. Because
everybody should go on. And here, Tony, he's seen it by now, so he doesn't even get to talk about the one movie that he's seen on this list. But everybody go message Ken on Instagram and go tell him to watch A Good Person. Yeah, so one scene though, and we got spoilers on, one scene in particular that a lot of people said, oh, it was a little too melodramatic, was the scene where Morgan Freeman, he relapses and then goes to the party, and he said some pretty nasty stuff to her. Finally gets everything that he wanted to say off his chest when he's drunk. People that, and I'm not here to argue it, I know who they are. I see it on Letterboxd, you know what I mean? But like, I'd have a conversation with them. But some people felt it was a little overly melodramatic at times, and that's fine for them. This movie hit every beat for me. It's a 5-star movie. I loved it. It's my number one on this list. It didn't feel overly melodramatic. It felt very real, and somebody who
Honest.
struggled with addiction, and somebody who's had addiction running their family, and who's even had the pills and stuff like that at times. It didn't feel fake or overly dramatic to me, or melodramatic or anything like that. But I can see how sometimes some people, certain things can feel that way. I know some things I feel about certain types of movies, and people are like, well, I didn't feel that at all. And to each his own, you know what I mean? For me, addiction movies usually don't feel corny at all. But I've struggled with it. I feel like I can relate to these a lot more than some people can, because some of them I like almost feel like my life in a way. So
Oh, absolutely. I
the
totally
good
get that.
person,
Because once
I'm
you
all, and I'm the kind of person that I'm all for more drama and emotion. Not drama so much, but I'm emotion. I want to feel pain watching.
right, I want
Yeah,
to feel. That's why I'm here. I want to experience this. I want
yeah.
to know. Yeah.
That's why
Which
that movie I watched before we went live, it's fun. It's a happy movie, you know, and then all of a sudden it flips you out of your head and you're like, holy shit, this is depressing. And I'm like, yes, people die. I'm like, yes, I need that in my movie. Somebody has to die for me to like the movie. No, I'm joking. That's not true. But I do want to feel pain. And that's why I'm on a kick right now. I'm like, no comedies. I want to feel pain. And that's why I can't wait to watch Daddy-O. I
yeah,
just want
no, yeah. There was, there were little things throughout the movie sprinkled in there, that kind of hit a little harder at times. Of course, with that part right there, Morgan Freeman, when like can't find the granddaughter, can't find oh my god, why did I forget her name? Florence Pugh's character. That's yeah, but and they're off together, and he relapses. That 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 I can understand. You're that yeah, and I don't know. Sorry, I can understand where people are talking about it a little too over dramatic, a little melancholy, and maybe a little over the top. But I don't think so, because when you are drunk, you you are over the top. You are more than you usually are, and you will say the things that you normally wouldn't say. You what do they say? It's like whatever. Jesus, it's like you're the most honest when you're. It's messed up, but some people are more honest when they're drunk. They're the most honest when they're drunk, because they hold everything in and they
often,
don't let anything out. So
often.
when you lose your inhibitions through alcohol, your walls come down, everything comes down, your filter comes off, and you just
Release your inhibition.
yeah, feel the pain
Sing
of
it.
your
Yeah. Missy's like, oh God, I can't escape that song. I'm like, yes, yes.
but yes,
I'm gonna read the comment. Everybody's gonna go searching. I won't name the person by name. I actually really like this person a lot, but I didn't agree with their comment. To each his own. Once again, he wrote, some of the dramatic choices felt a bit forced and awkward, but Pugh and Freeman are brilliant in it. I was engaged throughout, and they might even be in the chat right now. And I just read their comment. I mean, it's free. It's comment on Letterboxd, but I was like, damn, forced. I was like, an awkward. I guess to each his own. I was like, not for me. I wish he was here so we could actually discuss it right now, but I don't think he's in the chat. He was earlier, but people are gonna message him now and be like, Bob called you out. I'll be like, I did, man. I did.
Okay, so it's like after the accident and the 1 year, she's trying to get a fix. She's trying to find a fix, and her doctors have cut her off, and I can't remember if her mom probably dumped her pills by then, and then she goes to her friend, and
oh man,
because
tried to
Why the black killer? Yes, I was like, oh my gosh. See, that's when you, yeah, that's when you're down there towards the bottom. And then she goes to the bar and runs into those two guys. I wrote a quote here because they were giving her shit because in high school she thought she was better than everybody, and she was
Mhm.
like, "I didn't think I was. I knew I was." And he was like,
Yeah.
"And yet here you are."
And they're
And
like, "Now you know
but
different
the
than us." Yeah.
but
He's like,
the quote that got me is like, "You're so much more like what you think we are. Than we actually are."
yeah,
It's like
I remember that quote. I just
yeah.
read
I
it.
was like, "You're so much more like what you think we are than we actually are." And I was like, "Damn." And then just like, come on, say it. Tell me you're junkie. Tell me you're a fucking junkie. I was like,
That's
wow.
Nat Wolf is what, or that's Alex Wolf, Nat Wolf's brother, I believe, in that scene. I
Okay.
believe that's him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
But
it's a tough watch. I feel like, I probably have so much more to say, but I said so much on 4 Good Days. And the funny thing is, this won't be the only list where I have 2 addiction films. I'm telling you, almost everybody gets addiction films on their list.
oh no,
And
that's fine. Obviously, I'm down for it because
yeah,
it hit me, and obviously the right areas because it's number one. Um, And it did have some funny aspects in it too, like when Grandpa found the granddaughter in bed with. Now this isn't funny. The 20-year-old with the 16-year-old. I'm talking about the aftermath when he kicks him out. He's making him run downstairs in his
yeah,
undies. He's got his clothes, and he's standing out there, and he yells out the window, and blah, 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 and he's yelling at the neighbor, and
he
she's in
starts
front of her
hosing
car.
him
It's crazy. It's like you're a fuck boy, and I died. I was dying laughing.
down.
Nothing but a fuck boy. I was
He's a
cracking
fuck
up.
boy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
But
it's just the ending, everything about the ending, from her talking to him to him passing away at the end, to
oh
his
man,
quote and the note
his
he gives
letter.
her and leaves her. Yeah, it
Oh my
really
god.
hits hard.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I said. That's right there. I put tears. And it is like after he passed, and she went downstairs and found her figurine, the letter. Um, I didn't like, but yeah, no, they were coming down. I was feeling it. I really was because I love the fact that the last thing that I wrote here was a wonderful story of love, loss, addiction, power of friendship, overcoming your demons, and finally redemption, forgiveness, and finally redemption. Um, it hit all those aspects for me, and for that, it is my number one because I thoroughly love this. Their relationship, from the time she walked into the church for her first meeting,
She
and,
steals.
and him not. Oh yeah.
She steals the watch. Now, does she get? She doesn't give that money back though, does she? I thought the first time so when I rewatched it, her friend's watch. Do you remember? And she checks herself into rehab. She steals the watch, her friend's watch, and she gets 15,000 for it, or 14,000. Do you
Twelve
not?
five.
Do you
Twelve
remember?
five. But I
Do
thought,
you not remember that she?
yeah, no. I'm saying, did she say her dad left that for her?
Uh, her friend, her sponsor. No, she stole the watch. I
The
think.
Rolex?
Yeah, I thought. Was it? Oh, it was her Rolex. So she
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah, yeah. Her dad left her that Rolex. He
So
left. That's the
okay.
only thing here. When he left, that's the only thing that he left.
Bro, I'm all like, I thought she stole the Rolex, but I
Oh
remember in the
yeah.
beginning they were like, "Oh, you got that Rolex when at the bar." Okay, so she
Oh
didn't
yeah, yeah,
steal the
yeah, yeah,
Rolex, no, but she did use it to pawn it to go check herself into rehab, which
yeah.
was pretty
And
wild.
okay, and there were a couple aspects of where I really enjoyed this because when she
Idiot.
came to her mom, Molly Shannon, when she came to her mom, and she was like, "I want help. I'm ready to get help. I'm ready to get help." And then her mom pulls out the oxys, and I'm like, "No, no, no, no." She actually is ready. She said she's ready. That is somebody actually coming to you saying, "Okay, I'm ready, and I need you to help me." And then you just enabled her. to continue on this, that path. And that part pissed me off. And I know people do it and they think that they're helping because they don't want to see them hurt. But it actually does the opposite effect of what you want to do. It's taking them down that road even further.
All right, Fish, we got to wrap this up because we're 3.5 hours in. So we definitely got to wrap it up. We've had some very long conversations here. So I hate to cut you
most
off.
of them are me trying to stammer my thoughts through, but thank you very much for this list, especially this movie. I really love this one. Definitely, I don't own it, but I will definitely be going to purchase it. So
yeah, and it was on sale for $15 recently.
So, but this one hit me. This one hit me and hit me good. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I'm glad. I do try to recommend movies that people will like. I don't want to waste people's time. That's the biggest thing. It happens. You're not always going to be 6 recommendations, but yeah, it feels like 6 hours ago. It's still $15.80 on Amazon.
Okay.
But yeah, it feels like 6 hours ago that we talked about Heartbreak. I got to catch up with the chat. Ken does not approve of this pick. Dell says, this is great. I actually seen 70% of those movies I liked her. Don't worry, darling. Bob did not. No, Bob loved Don't Worry, Darling. That's not true. Caprice is a new member. Caprice, hit me up. We haven't talked in a while. Draculina Horror, thank you very much for becoming a member of Reindeer Games. Bob, another question. How is my boy Harry Styles in Don't Worry, Darling? Harry Styles is probably one of the worst actors I've ever seen. That man cannot act his way out of a shoebox. Johnny says, on a serious note, there were times I needed painkillers just to function on a daily basis. I don't know why, but I was focused when I was taking them frequently. It's tough. Fish, what's a TV show you'll never get tired of binging?
Friends.
I really enjoyed Don't Worry, Darling. Am I alone? LOL. No, you're not alone, but I'm not with you on that one. Caprice. No, I liked it overall. Caprice. Okay, I was worried for a second. No, you're not. Dell says, my issue with that scene is that he seemed like a character strong enough to say those things without relapsing. And he might have been eventually. I don't disagree with that. I think he was a character strong enough to say those things, but it's just when he was drunk, they came out, and anybody can relapse at any time. Especially what he was going through. His granddaughter was missing. Oh, Bob, God, not Bob's Serenity's ringtone. Could listen to Fish's thoughts all night, Joe sells. I'll add it to my list, directly. Says, is it a good person? Because if it's a good person, definitely add it. Okay, so that was everything. We're going to take spoilers off the screen. You ranked them. I'm going to give you my predictions, what they were. So I thought your number 10 would be Friday Night Lights. So much for that. Number 9, Would You Rather. 8, Chill Factor. 7, The Heartbreak Kid. 6, Unhinged. 5, Thanksgiving. 4, Love and Other Drugs. 3, 4 Good Days. 2, A Good Person. I thought A Good Person would be number 2. I thought Waves would be number 1. So I was off. But that's okay. What did you think my ranking would be? And then I'll give mine.
Okay. All right. Number 10, Heartbreak Kid. Number 9, Love and Other Drugs. Number 8, Chill Factor. Number 7, Would You Rather. This is kind of almost like my. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Number 6, 4 Good Days. Number 5, Thanksgiving. Number 4, Unhinged. Number 3, Waves. Number 2, A Good Person. And number 1, Friday Night Lights.
Wow, 2, A Good Person like yours. No, 10 is Chill Factor. Would You Rather is number 9. Heartbreak Kid would be number 8. Love and Other Drugs, 7. Thanksgiving, 6. Friday Night Lights, 5. 4, Unhinged. 3, 4 Good Days. Number 2, Waves. And 1 easily is A Good Person. It's really not close at all. I love that movie to death. That's my list.
Yeah. So I had it up there higher, but for some reason, I Friday Night Lights, I was feeling more of the nostalgia and probably the sports aspect of it, and plus all the all the.
That's fair.
Yeah, all the stuff that the kids had to go through with a
pretty good job. Like, I didn't know these. I didn't know your thoughts. Like, unlike Mizzy and I, we talked a lot about it beforehand. Like, I had no idea your thoughts on any of these. I didn't know we'd go this long, but that's okay. Would you recommend this list?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. I mean, even Heartbreak Kid, and I'm not saying that because I didn't love it like I enjoyed the others. Yeah, definitely worth a watch because Charles Grodin, as much as I didn't like his character, he was all in. You believed he was this guy that was so like
Yeah.
yeah. So
Would you buy these? You said you already did. That's usually how it goes with me.
yep,
I just
did buy some,
And
but I will be buying
what would you,
more most definitely.
what would you rate this list?
What do you mean?
The 1 through 5 stars overall as a list. What would you rate it?
Yeah, it's probably around in between a 3.5 and a 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'll take it because Tony said 4 stars for the list I gave him, and yours 3. You got to give one 3.5 or 4. Fish. Come on.
Okay. Well, let's see. I actually averaged her score because I added them all up and divided them by 10.
So it's probably right.
It's a 3.55, so that's why I said between 3.5 and so
3.5.
You'll be closer to 3.5. But
I've done that sometimes, and usually I don't go off of that. But after I add it up, it's like right there with my ranking overall. So like I did that.
So it's like it would be like 3.6, and if you round up, it's 4.
Yeah, I would go.
You're a rounder.
I would go through. So yeah, okay. That's everything. I'm gonna let you take the floor. I'm gonna catch up with the chat before we get out of here. Friends Fish is an OG. Joey is my personality. No shit. Jane Doletti, clapping hands. Bob, any game night planned for next week? No, there is not. I don't have a game. I don't have a stream planned right now, so nothing planned at the moment. Iron Shack says, night, everyone. Great stream and chat, but gotta go. See y'all next time. Perfect timing, Iron Shack. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't have anything to say outside of I do want to get to a watch list stream with Stacy because I finished his list. Nice. And I would like to get to one with Nikki as well at some point. Now, I don't like to start a list that the thing is, I'm a big believer in moods and how you're in the mood for a movie is different. And there's a lot on Nikki's list that looks very appealing to me. And then there's a lot on some other people's list where I'm like, oh, I want to see that. And then some I'm like, oh, I'm just not in the mood to watch this, or it's 3 hours long or whatever.
Right.
Johnny's list as a whole is like 40 hours because he's got like 10 movies that are like 3.5 hours, I swear. I don't know if he did that on purpose. Not really, but sort of. But so sometimes you're just in the mood for something. Sometimes you're not. And I hate to start a list and be like, oh, this one I want to watch. This one I want to watch, and then start 10 different lists and then take a year to get to somebody's list. So I really don't like to do that. But then the problem is sometimes I start a list and then I procrastinate because there's one I'm like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, and then you don't want your mood to influence, your
right, exactly.
watching experience. You're like, I'm not in the mood for this, but I'm gonna put it on anyway, and I'm not gonna enjoy it because I'm not in the mood for it. So
yeah,
as opposed to like, okay, I can watch this now, and oh my god, that was fantastic. So yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, mood does impact that, and yeah, not that I don't get burnt out on watching movies, but sometimes I do enjoy. That's why I've enjoyed going back and sometimes rewatching like some of these. Like A Good Person was a good rewatch. Would You Rather was a good rewatch, right. And so Friday Night Lights because it's been so long. So sometimes I put some of these on, and it is what it is. I trust me, I'm not upset, but some of them you hate to death. The recommendation. You know what I mean? That you don't even find anything likable about it. And it's like, damn, that's when you can feel burnt out from, or from watching movies. It's like, and that's when I need to take a break, because if I watch 2 crappy movies in a row that I didn't, that's when I'm like, okay, I need a break from watching watch list. I need to go watch something I really know that I enjoy.
Right. I need to get out of this. Yeah.
And don't get it twisted. Anybody who's giving me a list, I'm not attacking any of you, because I'm grateful, and because with every list I've found at least one or multiple that I've really enjoyed, and a lot that I bought. And even with lists that I was like, oh, I hated this, there was always at least one that I enjoyed. So I'll always be grateful for the one. It's just sometimes you're like, oh, it sucks that you don't like a lot of them. But hey, it happened with your list too, but you didn't know
Oh
me.
yeah, no, absolutely. See, but that list was made before you and I really got to know each other. You were like, "Oh, I like recommendations for movies." I was like, "Oh, well, here, let me recommend some." And I didn't know your taste, so I was just throwing out movies that I thought I found interesting in some aspect or another. And then now that I know your taste, the new one that I have cultivated hopefully will steer a little more towards that. And
You got
yeah,
18. And I will say really quick, Mizzy says fun stream, guys.
thanks.
To Nicholas, like a movie warehouse, a caveman in the chat, they've sent me lists in Nikki and so on and so forth and other people. It's not a personal attack to you, Nicholas, or a caveman or anything like that. Sometimes it's mood, whatever it might be. I will get to your list at some point. It could be 2029, but I will get to your list. Okay. And I might end up watching, and I know it's really shitty that other people have given me lists, but I might end up watching Tim's watch list number 2 before I even watch somebody else that gave me a list a year ago. And if that makes me an asshole, and I get it, it kind of does. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Tim's really excited. He wants me to give him another list already, but I want to finish his list first. And he put together movies based on him getting to know me more now, and he knows that I like heavier topics. So there you go. So it's not a personal attack. Trust me, I want to get to everybody's list, but there's a lot of lists to get through. I appreciate it. I really do, but it'll take some time. Draculina says, "Love you, Fish, and miss you, Bob." Well, Caprice,
Love you.
I do. I miss talking. Joe says this was an amazing night. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I tried to tell you about my list was going to be all over the place, like 4-hour movies. Have a good one, Princess. Have a good one, Prince. He called him Princess. Same to you, legendary cool kid. I'm still waiting on mine, Bob. Yeah, I mean, I could give you a list. But that's everything. Fish, take it away. Go ahead and talk about your channel, where they could find you, what you got coming up, and all that. And then we're going to sign off. And yeah, Corey says, have a good night.
Not a whole lot. Thank you, first of all, very much for having me, giving me this list of movies to watch, and some of them fall in love with. Definitely rewatch ability on all of these. So I really enjoyed tonight hanging out with you, talking to you about some of the movies that you enjoy. Maybe having grown up with them, or maybe some new discoveries, like A Good Person that just came out recently. But you can find me on Instagram and YouTube at fish_the film collector. I don't have anything planned. I've been staying off Instagram because I like to post the movies that I watch, but since I've been doing a watch list, I haven't been posting anything, but that's over now. So I go and post what I'm watching now. But anyways, you can find me there. Nothing big planned for the channel. I need to put out some videos. I do. Slacking so bad. But I think it's not so.
Fish, I haven't put out a video in. I put out one video since October.
See, but you do live streams though.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much I do live streams too. Because
yeah, I don't have anything planned for me. I think I'm Mega Mike has got something planned for his channel, but that's not till next month. So yeah. So I just hanging out, enjoying all these beautiful YouTubers, and thank you very much again, Bob, for having me. I enjoyed this. Thanks for the tears. Thanks for the laughs. Thanks for everything.
Well, I'm glad that the movies meant something to you. Like I said, I genuinely don't want to waste people's time. I know some people. I have a buddy. He just recommends movies that he wants me to watch because they're political or whatever, and it's like, dude, it's just why? You know I'm gonna hate it. It's like, don't do that. So I don't like to do that to people. Sometimes I'm wrong, but I genuinely try to put together something. I'm not a smart ass as far as putting a movie on somebody's list that I know they're gonna hate. That's not my cup of tea. I don't want to do that. I don't want to piss somebody off like that. I'd rather have a good discussion rather than you be like, okay, I told you I was gonna hate it, but yet here we are.
Yeah, so, I get. Yeah. I get. No, absolutely. But yeah, no, I enjoyed these. I did. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, that is everything. 3 hours, 45 minutes later, long stream, easily the longest one. But this was fun. Thank you for joining. And go check out Fish's channel. And that's everything. Until next time, have a good one, everyone. See ya.
Good night.